year. He's all involved.
I think he's in competition with Gary. I don't know that anybody could beat Gary as father of the year.
I don't know. I think John Hines up there.
Really?
He's like a saint.
Yeah, we have a couple of guys who are pretty good fathers. I have a feel. I don't really know. I've never seen Fred in action, but
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Is he like a?
And he reads to his daughter every night, and oh my God, she thinks the world of him.
Yeah, I mean that's very feminine, Fred.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying
I'm
just trying to make up for the fact that nobody was around for me when I was a kid.
You're trying to be the father.
So that's my obsession. You're obsessed with surfing. I'm obsessed with being a good dad.
I got to ask you, Howard.
Yeah.
So DePace just says to me on the intercom, he goes, "What about me?" And I said, "Well, you can't golf 2 days a week and be father of the year. Do you agree?"
He's a bad father, I'm sure.
He says he's taking his kid to a baseball game, but that's really what Scott wants to do.
Wait a minute. Didn't he call from a strip club and give the phone to Artie?
Yes, he
Uncle
did.
Talk to his kid. He got a lap dance.
Yeah,
That's not father of the year.
Scott golfs at least 3 times a week. There's no way he could be a great dad.
Right.
Like Gary takes all of his free time. Like as soon as Gary leaves here, he's with his kids.
There have been days when Gary
and Scott has a nanny and he's never home.
Yeah.
See, I'm in my big break right now.
Right.
I coach baseball. It started in April, ended in very late June.
Right.
And I have a little break. Football starts in about 3 weeks.
Right, I was going to say, Gary can have a monster schedule, and he'll still be there coaching.
I'll call Gary about the show, and I'll ask him about a guest and stuff. He'll be, hold on, I'm here with the kids.
I'm on the field.
I'm on the field. Give me 2 seconds. Now, DePace, you're out of the running.
I do that
He'll
stuff
be whispering
too.
because
No, you
he's on
don't.
the golf
I do.
You golf 3 times a week, and you have pretty long hours here.
Yeah,
you
but
golf 3 times a week. You have a nanny. You're never home.
They're well taken care of.
You're so not in Fred or Gary's or John
Just not
Hines.
by you.
On the weekends, I'm all about them. I hang with them all the time.
Yeah, but you're not in their category. Trust me.
Yeah, because they don't reserve it for the weekend.
Scott can't stand that I'm better at than anything.
No, it's just because your wife doesn't rule the. How do I say
My
that?
wife doesn't rule what? Just say it. It's okay.
No, I want to take that back.
But say
it's
whatever you
just
want.
because.
What were you going to say?
Nothing.
Just say it. It's okay. I won't be offended.
Because your wife makes you do all this crap.
Nah, he's way more.
She doesn't
into
make
it than
me
you
coach.
Yeah, well, I'll coach.
When?
Gary's. Let me ask you this.
Whoa, hold on. You're gonna you say you're gonna coach, but when it's 4 days a week and it starts cutting into your golf game, I guarantee you.
I
you'll quit.
was going to do it this year, but our town is so weird. They wanted a background check and all this crap.
What
and
are
I was
you
like,
hiding?
I'm not doing all that.
You
don't have to. You got to take a class. You got to go to Rutgers and take a class how to coach. I'm like, I'm not doing all that. I just want to go out there with the
but
kids.
that's the point.
That
Gary
is
would
the
do it.
point.
You're not
I've
in his
taken the
league.
class and I've
Hold it,
I've submitted to the background check.
Match
By the
this
way.
story. You ready?
Yeah.
Gary slept on the Intrepid, a battleship with his son Jackson.
It wasn't the Intrepid. The Intrepid would have been amazing.
Right.
The ship that I slept on was docked in Fall River, Massachusetts, home of Hank the Drunk. Some of the fathers left the boat to go to a bar, and they came back and they said, it's way better on the boat than out there.
But shouldn't you tell your kid no? Shouldn't you just say no? You can't.
But why would I
teach him independence a little bit?
At 3?
Oh, my God.
So he's 3?
No, but at the time they were like 5 years old. I wanted to give them good things.
You slept on a ship when they were 5 years old?
Yeah.
That's irresponsible.
You can't even
Why?
match.
Wait, why is that irresponsible?
A 5-year-old
about-
shouldn't be on a ship.
Why?
Sleeping
Oh,
over?
Why?
Stay in your
Why not?
house.
But wait, why
I don't
should
know. That just seems odd.
How? Like, what do you think was irresponsible about it? Like, what could have gone wrong?
A lot on a boat, on a ship. What do you mean?
what?
What could go
It's
wrong? He could
docked.
fall over. He could.
Dude, the boat is.
I'm sure the boat is
Scott,
very
you're
safe.
not-
It's built for
No
kids
offense,
to visit.
You sound ridiculous.
And that's why you have a parent there, so your kid is watched.
You're no way in his league.
It's a museum.
I wouldn't do it either because I'm just selfish that way, and I don't care about being on a boat, and it's about me. He sacrifices himself for his kid. He's
Yes.
way better than you.
The other thing,
he's
though-
way better than me, dude.
Hold on.
The guy's
The other-
a better father than you.
No, he's
Get over
not.
it.
There's no
Ten
way.
times
I'll
better
never.
than
Nobody's
no.
a better father
Just
than
because
him.
you spend more time doesn't make you a better father.
No, but he also is super involved, super interested.
kids
He
are
knows how to
older.
talk to his kids. Even when they were young, he bathed
he was
them.
always there for him.
You sit and bathe your kids?
He took baths
no
with
way.
them.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't?
No, not because it's gay.
You've never
it's,
bathed your kids when your
What
wife...
is it?
a couple of times.
But what is it then if it's not gay? What is it? What's
It's
weird
a
about
waste of time.
for you?
Right.
Exactly.
So you're not just leave because you're only going to look foolish.
right.
If you go up against a fathering contest with this guy, you're going to lose.
But
There's no guy I
that
know
makes
that
him a
puts in
better
there.
father because he bathes his kid.
Yeah.
Because he's involved.
He's involved with the kids.
I'm involved.
Got clean kids.
No, you're
He
not.
actually might know his kids and what they're thinking, and they might actually talk to him.
I'll tell you
your
what, you
kid-
bring in-
I talk to my kids.
You
bring
bring
in your-
about Rush Limbaugh. You
No, I
didn't want to
don't.
talk
I do.
about
I
that.
talk. I'm very fair though politically. I talk to them about that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you feel like Fox.
I would
my
vote
wife-
Republican or else.
My wife ain't friends with you anymore.
I know.
Oh, does she
What?
not? She just
Oh, she
get
could've
you
been
at
If
all.
the
looking
wedding
at-
invites went out today, would I still be on the list?
Yeah, because
Probably.
I dig you.
Oh.
I mean, I don't like that you hate your
You'd have
dog,
been on
but
his side.
but I still like you.
I tried to talk to the trainer yesterday. We played phone tag, but his message was something like, "Yeah, I'll help you out."
yeah, but
And
the trainer told me he's already spoken to you a couple of times and you've turned him down.
no,
That's
that's
what he
not
told
true.
Beth.
I kept hearing there was this trainer. He was a mystery trainer. I never spoke to him
And
once.
that's not what he says.
No, the news kept saying we've got a trainer. I'm like, where's his number? It never came up.
All right.
I wasn't going to be searching for it.
Scott said in a wrap-up show yesterday that he doesn't think the trainer's going to work because it's going to be long and tedious, and we're going to get homework, and we're not going to do it.
Yeah,
in
I
one
mean, yeah,
bar.
you are
He's
gonna
not
get
a good
homework.
dog owner either.
He's horrible at. He's a horrible dog owner. He's a horrible
God.
parent.
You're crazy.
I'll tell you what I'll do, man. Let's play newlywed game with kids.
I agree.
All right, you have your sons come in, and I'll ask you
younger.
questions. I don't. What's the difference? I'll ask you
They
questions
know
about
you,
your
don't
kids,
they?
and we'll see if you know the answers. And I guarantee you, Gary will know his kids.
I can tell you
better
right
than
now. I can tell you one that I could beat you on right now. Lucas just graduated the 5th grade. I guarantee you, I can tell you every teacher he had for every grade by name.
And you know you can't do that.
Do it.
Mrs. Scriteroli or something
Or
like
something.
that.
That's your answer?
Go ahead. What are
You're
Lucas's
sticking with that.
teachers?
He had first he had Miss Benzenberger for 1st grade. Then he had Miss Harris for 2nd grade. Mrs. Harris for 2nd grade.
Look at this.
He had for.
Why do you want to know that?
He
Oh,
was
my
there.
God.
He
You should
was
know that.
involved
He knows
with
the
these
teacher.
people.
My teachers
Scott, I'm like you.
recognize me.
I can't name one of my kids' teachers. We're not great at this. He's
No,
a great
that's not
father.
true.
He's a great father.
My kid's in 1st grade. I don't need to know his teacher
Dude,
there.
yeah, you do. You should have met with the teacher already a
I
couple of
met
times.
with one of them. It was boring.
Mrs.
Look,
Kistler
you
was
see-
his kindergarten teacher.
It's not boring. It's like important. Like, if you're a good dad, you got to meet with the kids.
It's
And
very important for
Right.
a teacher to know that a parent is involved. They get better.
I'll t-
The students
Believe me,
get
I'm
better
involved. I help
Do
with
you
his
go to-
homework.
do you
all
go
the
to
time.
Daddy Sunday?
I help with his homework all
do you
the
go to
time.
Daddy Sunday?
The hell is that?
See, that's what I'm saying. You're not a father.
What's Daddy Sunday?
Even I did Daddy
Okay,
Sunday.
wait. Scott gets home earlier than me, right?
Yeah.
How many times in the year do you pick your kids up from school? And that's how the teachers know you. That's how I know the teachers.
There's
You
a bus to take him home.
I know, but sometimes it's very exciting when your kid sees dad standing
They
at the
love
door. It's so exciting. How many times have you gone to lunch at your kid's school?
Go ahead.
No,
Answer.
I'm not going to
See?
do that.
They love it when you show up for lunch. It's exciting.
And
They're
he
so
can do
proud.
that.
The kid's so proud. You sit at the
I
table
can
with the
answer
kids.
that
How
question.
many
It's a half an
Gary,
hour.
you show up to lunch
Yeah.
at the kid's school?
All the parents do.
They do?
Yeah, they encourage the
Oh,
parents
my
to
God.
come.
I would have clobbered my old man if he showed up.
Loves it. I treat the kids to cookies. He's so psyched that his
Really?
dad's there. And then they go out in the playground and I say goodbye.
How old were they when you were doing that?
Well, at the school Lucas just graduated at, I was doing it up to this last year.
What
Like
year
sometimes-
is he in?
Well, he just finished 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
But like on a Friday, if I had, if I'm home and I have some time, sometimes Lucas say, "Hey, Dad, could you come for lunch today?" I'm like, "All right, I'll come by." Sit at the table with him and his friends.
Wow.
They love it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's involved. They actually
coddling
like
them.
him.
He's
not
coddling them.
coddling anything.
Scott, that's a good father.
Yeah, whatever.
Dude, I'm
His
telling
kids
you.
won't grow up gay. I guarantee it.
I would tell you that for Scott.
What's that, Scott? What were you about to say?
I would.
You guarantee you what?
Guarantee that they are
I
going to be
would.
gay?
If parenting had anything to do with being gay,
Dude.
I don't think it does. But that would be.
I think it's.
More
What, you
than
think I'm
that.
making my kids gay by going to show them to lunch?
That's not what I just said. That's not
But
what I
just-
just
Gary's
you're
such
thinking
a great dad. His kids call him mom. They don't even.
Exactly.
They got two moms.
He breastfed them.
Listen, I take my kids to the golf course. We go out to dinner a lot.
do
So you
what
do
you
things that you
do.
like to do, not what
Yeah.
they want to do.
Well, maybe they're going to like it.
When was the last
too.
time you did something
I
they
watched
wanted
the
to do?
Phillies with my son.
No, but
That's
Frank,
stuff you like.
Frank is a great example. Tell me something you've done in the last year that you absolutely hated, but you did because they wanted to do it.
The pool. I hate going to the pool. I'll do that every once in a while.
That's lame.
Wow. Listen, you're father of the year. Don't even go into a
Yeah, don't
contest.
run in here for the father.
I said to- I
Don't
said
go
to-
into a contest with
Just
Gary. He's
all right.
he's like the perfect father. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. I've seen the guy in action.
He's into it.
In Scott's defense, though,
He runs around a barbecue.
I'm not sure that's the definition of a perfect
Mary
father.
sits
but-
there like a guy, and Gary runs around and like chases the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just said it. Mary sits back like a guy. Well,
Yeah.
That is so not true. That is so
I've seen it in
not
action.
true.
So I'm being a guy guy and he's being a girl.
They just
That's what
reverse
you
the
were
roles.
saying.
Yeah, and he's a great father.
She does a ton
Yeah,
of
most
work.
guys
So
are
a great
not
father.
great at parenting.
So a great father is a guy who acts like a girl. All right, I guess I'm getting it.
I'm
A
telling
great
you.
father is a mother.
Yeah, look at Fred. Fred holds a reading class every night.
well, actually,
Absolutely.
it's a
Right.
mother
I
with
read to the
maybe
kids.
sports skills.
What do you read to the kids? What you want, probably.
What was the last thing you
No,
read?
they've got their little books or whatever. Those
Name one.
He read Penthouse 40th anniversary.
I can tell you every kid's
Forum.
favorite book. Name
That's
2
forum.
books you read.
Kyle likes those. God,
Two books.
spaghetti. Something about spaghetti falling in your head or something like that.
You,
he doesn't
you
even
don't
know.
read to your kid.
Yeah,
You don't.
Name
Once
Yeah.
or twice
No, you
you've
don't.
done
There's that one. When he was young, that Grover. There's a rope.
But
at
he's
the end
not
of
young
his
anymore,
book.
so what do you read to him lately?
Yeah.
He reads himself. He reads himself now. I'll stick with him.
Gary sits there and reads.
Gary,
to them.
like my son Derek loves all the superhero stuff,
Right.
so I'll read some superheroes.
All right. Okay, so your father with you.
Yeah,
I
so
play
in
video
between-
games with them.
All right,
How
then.
often
Do you
play
ever
video
do
games?
anything outside with him? Physical?
Yeah, we'll have
like?
catches and stuff. Yeah, baseball. I teach him golf. I teach him baseball.
All right, well, that's good.
Football a little bit.
Just the other day I watched while they built the deck.
That's a dad's duty, right?
He says he's teaching them football. What he's basically doing is watching his favorite team play football, and once in a
No.
while dispensing a fact.
No. We'll go out and throw the
No,
ball.
you're
around.
not. Believe me, this guy is a father of the year, and you're not. All right, I'm done with the
All right,
discussion.
all
It's
right.
enough.
But in Scott's defense, when we were at that strip club, he could have hung up on his kid.
That's true.
He gave the phone to me.
Oh, look. Okay, here's Father of the Year. I'm going to put this picture up, I think. Here's Scott DePace. He's got a big cigar in his mouth. He's holding his son, and look at the smoke going into his son's face.
I second that. His kid will not grow up gay because he won't make it past the age of 14 from secondhand smoke carcinogens.
Look at the secondhand smoke going into that kid's face.
My dad smoked around me all the time.
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, you can't go out. Look at that
Wow.
It's like growing up in Sea Caucus.
picture. Big cigar blowing it in the kid's face.
That's horrible, Scott.
That kid looks miserable.
Hey, Kyle, go juggle a chainsaw.
All right, look, I got to
Kid
take
does look miserable.
The kid looks absolutely miserable.
Well, it's like living with Rush Limbaugh Jr.
Let's go to Joe in Allentown, PA.
Hey now.
Hey,
Hey, listen, I wanted to ask Scott a question if I can. Is that all right?
sure. He left, but go ahead and ask it anyway.
Oh, God, I wanted to ask Scott if he could go kill himself. This guy needs Fucknut of the Year award. He is the biggest fucking asshole, and I got to tell you, Howard, this brings your show to a fucking screeching halt when that goddamn asshole is in your studio. I love you, but that dude, that just a screeching halt, man.
All right, very good, Joe. Thank you. Kevin, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, Howard, I heard Scott complaining that if you want to be a coach in New Jersey that you've got to go to this class and everything. Actually, my dad does those classes, and what it really is, it's about a 3-hour, maybe a little less, it's a slide presentation, and it's a discussion group, and it costs $35, and it's no big deal. I don't know what he's complaining about. If you're a dad that into it, you can't cough up 3 hours and $35. Scott, I'll send you the money, Scott, if you need it.
Hey, you're right.
That's the point.
that's
He
the
doesn't
point.
have 3 hours for his
No,
kids.
because you could
not
be
only,
golfing.
and not only that, it's like if you're a parent, and let's say you don't want to be a coach, wouldn't
Right.
you want to send your kid to a place where you know the coach is like certified, he's had a
Scott
background
doesn't
check,
care.
he's not a child
course.
molester, and he's not going to fly off at the handle when the kid doesn't catch a fly ball?
Scott
Absolutely.
doesn't care where his kids are
Right.
going or who's supervising.
I don't think Scott has the $35 either.
Yeah, go ahead,
Well,
Scott.
you know, the seminars don't even have that much to do with coaching. It's got more to do with, just being considered.
Coddling the kids. In our town, they don't want you to keep score, no stats. It's a bunch of crap.
So
Well,
you...
that's the town. That's something that you take up. That you take up. at
I
one
know.
of the
Listen,
leagues.
I'm gonna
But
do it
that'll
next-
take that'll take time, Scott. You'll have to invest some
It's
time.
3 hours. It's not
I
like a whole
know. I'll
thing.
do it. It came up. Do you want to be the coach or whatever and do all this stuff? And I was like, I don't know. No.
Right.
But I was at
See,
every
Gary
game.
does.
I was at every game, and I was a coach. I was there on
Listen,
the
let
field
me
with
tell
the
you
kids.
something. Don't feel so bad. You have a lot of outside interests. Gary doesn't have any. His whole he's like
he wanted kids because he
yeah.
wanted to be interested in them.
Gary's a guy who goes to Vegas and sits in his room. Gary's a guy who goes to Vegas, sits in his room, and looks for things like he can't even entertain himself. so
You'd
he needs
have things
people.
to do.
That's why he's a great father.
We were all sitting out there trying to figure out why, because I was thinking about what Scott
Right.
said. Why does your town have a creepy rule of asking for a background check on a coach?
Why is that?
No, I didn't say it was a creepy
You said they have a
rule.
bunch of creepy rules, like
No,
they want
a bunch of-
background checks.
No, I just said it was like this whole thing. When I was a kid, there were plenty. I mean,
Okay,
you never
but you're
had to
not a
do
kid
that
anymore.
stuff.
Now there's fucking pedophiles.
Now all of a sudden-
this is what Howard. This is a background check. You fill out a short form,
They see if you've
and you
ever
give
been
them a copy,
arrested.
you give them a
I
copy
was-
of your license. And they do. And you know what? And I'm glad they do that.
Why don't you want that?
I overstated. It just seemed like a pain in the ass.
Make sure
For
that
me,
other
I'm glad that
people-
the other coaches have it, but
But
for
why is
me,
it a pain in the ass to give someone your license so they can make sure you're not a pedophile?
I'm saying taking the class and the background check and all this crap. I was like, Jesus, I just want to help some
3
kids
hours.
out. What am I under inspection?
Yeah,
I know. What do you?
a little bit.
I don't
Read
want to
the
be.
papers?
But what are you offended by? Like when I took the class, I was actually grateful that I learned CPR again, just for my own family or for any place. It's just good to know.
You win. You're a better father than him. He's not a good father.
Face it,
and
you're
he's got
Goofus,
a
he's
lot.
Gallon.
And he's got a lot of interest. Like I see
Yeah.
you. You love to be with people, and you love
do.
like you do.
I
And
hate people.
He went to Vegas. He didn't know what to do with himself. He was begging Nick DiPaolo to come to his room and watch TV with him.
That's a horrible way to be. You better
Yeah.
pick up some hobbies quick.
Yeah, he needs
The
people.
bigger question is, what is Scott hiding, people?
Nothing.
Background he doesn't want us to know.
Maybe I'm a pedophile.
By the way, you know what golf stands for?
what?
Howard, you know what golf stands for, right?
What?
Go out and leave your family.
Right, of course. All right, Mike, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, someone needs to call fucking CPS on this guy. This guy, dude, do you even go out with your kid fucking once a week, dude?
Do I have to answer this?
I don't
Jerk
know.
off?
I don't know.
Yeah, I go out with my kids. What are you talking about? I took them out to dinner last night.
Oh, wow.
My wife worked late. I went out.
Everybody takes their kid to fucking dinner. That's fucking normal shit. To you, that's fucking not.
I went to the pool last weekend with them. I hated every second of it.
All right, listen. You're not going to beat Fred. You're not going to beat Gary. You're not going to beat John Hine. John Hine is like father of the year,
Yeah,
too.
John Hines. Good.
Yeah, I don't know why John is father of the year. I don't know his parenting.
Oh, my God.
history.
He's really good.
You
He's
beat
way
me. I've
too-
never met my kid.
Right. It's unbelievable. Thank you. All right, Scott DePace, our director, TV show director. Excellent. Good job.
What the fuck?
just
Background check.
He just took a beating from the audience. It's great.
So do you think what Gary does as father is strange?
No, I just think that, like Howard said, I have more things going on. And, Gary, it seems like he's willing to do anything and everything where the normal guy would probbe say, no way. Right, Artie? Would you?
Oh, it sounds like a good father as a mother. But at some point you got to teach. If you have sons, I think Scott's a good father for his son, because you got to teach a boy not to give a fuck about anything early, because that's what life is.
Yeah, and
Who
independence.
cares? I mean, when is this going to end? This life, it's terrible.
Well, I'm not sure that's what I'm teaching them, but
Tell your kids, be honest with them, it's just waiting to die.
no. But independence is very important, and you could say that's partly what I'm teaching them. Right?
Now, you kind of made it sound like Gary has too much free time. That's why he's
No, I
able
just
to do all
feel
these
like
things.
Gary's life is work, and then let me take the kid to the pool, and that's it. And that's not what I want in life. I want to have my fun. I want my kids to have a great time. So yes, I definitely spend time with them, and that's my level. But for them to say what a good dad is, again, these fucks in there. Yes, I said it. They want to, describe what is right for them and put it on to everyone else. Well, I've got my opinion, and I'm right, and they're wrong, and that's it.
Gary, do you think Scott DePace is a bad father?
No, I don't think he's a bad father, but I think he thinks he's the best father, which everybody does, and he's not. He's a very good father, but he doesn't go the extra mile. There's nothing wrong with it. He's like most fathers.
Now, it kind of sounded like he might be like a little selfish. Like he
Well,
doesn't,
yeah,
he
listen.
doesn't want to do things because with his sons, because he wants to do stuff for himself.
Listen, every parent goes through that. I was just talking to Fred about it. When I asked that question, what have you done with your kid lately that you absolutely hated? Because you do stuff with your kids, but he's of the feeling like, I'm not going to do that because that sucks. But sometimes you do crap with your kids that you don't like because you do stuff for them. Scott's being like a dick too, because he just sent me a link to Stern Fan Network where they all talked about how I'm smothering my kid and I'm like gay, like the teacher in in Beavis and Butthead, and that I'm being oversensitive, that I'm Mr. Sensitive because I pay attention to my kids.
Now, do you think he should be more like you?
No, I think he should
you think he's fine how he is?
The thing about Scott that I find fascinating is that no matter what subject, whether it's politics or anything, Scott feels like there should never be any progress at all. So his whole rap was like, listen, when I was a kid, they didn't do background checks. What the fuck they need background checks for? And I was like, when I was a kid, they didn't have seatbelts. But things progress and things evolve and things change. He's very much like, this is what I had and this is what I give my kids. There's no growth.
So I guess his father didn't do a lot of things with him, and he's
I don't
just
know, but it's just
that
he's just saying, this is what I know, and that's what I'm going to do, and don't fill my head with extra stuff because it makes it hurt.
I do think Scott's a good father. I think Scott is just in the old school fatherhood mentality, which is what I was talking about with Fred and John Hine. So Scott just does things differently than the other guys do, and it's sort of like, the old school, like, all right, kids, I'm home from work, I had a tough day, your mom will feed you, your mom will change your diapers, your mom will bathe you, I'm going to sit back, smoke a cigar, and play golf. He's just a little bit hands-off, it seems. Again, I don't live in Scott's house. It just seems that way, but it doesn't mean he's a bad father. Scott's a great father. I see him in action. He loves his kids, loves his dog, has a real nice house. He takes care of business. He's great. But, I don't think he was stating his case properly, and I probably wouldn't have been so open about some of the things he was open about. So, but yes, bottom line, Scott's a good father.
I wouldn't say Scott's a bad dad. I mean, he just does it differently. I mean, he's very old school. I go to work and, the kids do what they want. But I think he's a good dad. I think he cares about his kids a lot. I think he cares about, though, what he wants to do a lot. And sometimes you got to put your kids before yourself. And sometimes you got to put yourself before your kids. For example, I'll do things that my kids want to do that I don't necessarily want to do. And I don't know if Scott does that. But again, that doesn't make him a bad father. And in terms of being the best dad, Gary's tough to beat, man. He does everything for his kids, and I really respect that. Fred Norris is a great dad with his daughter. Doug's a good dad with his daughter. So if we had a contest, again, I'm not saying Scott's bad, but he'd probably come in last.
I really did. I had a fucking incredible dad, and he was great. We were involved. We had a lot of fun. But your dad can also have his own interests. That makes him a person.
It teaches you independence.
So you don't think Scott's a bad father, right?
No, I think he's probably horrible. But I think mine was no. I actually think Scott. Listen, I haven't seen Scott around his kids, but based on the person I know he is, I would bet he's a pretty good father, and I bet he has a nice, loving, healthy relationship with his sons.
Cats in the Cradle, my friend. Cats in the Cradle? If you listen to the lyrics, the kids want to play with Dad. They want to do something with Dad. Dad's always busy. Dad's got to do things. Dad's selfish. Dad's being a prick. And then in the end, Dad gets old and he's withered and he realizes, what was life all about? It was about my boys. And he calls up his boys. And what does his boy say? Can't be bothered, Dad. Got things to do. And that's what's going to happen. He's going to end up a withered, old, bald man. He's going to look like Ebenezer Scrooge, sitting in a chair with his golf club that nobody cares about and his golf caddy, collecting dust full of cobwebs, and he's going to pick up his phone with his withered hand and that shitty cigar in his mouth and go, you want to come over, son? And you're just going to hear,
I'm David Attell, and I'm here to whore myself out, get the message out about the new Gong Show on Comedy Central, and of course to reminisce about our Afghanistan USO tour. So,
now how did the tour go for you?
I think we'll all agree that the tour is great. It's the getting there that sucks. The flying, taking 5 planes to get there, spending 20 hours, and very unsmokable airports, which was a shock to me. Turkey, you can't smoke in the airport. Can you believe it? Jeez. Yeah, you can bang a boy in the. No, I'm kidding. No. But yeah, that was the hard part, and the heat of the whatever that was, desert areas was very, very crazy. But the guys did a great job, and the troops were very into it. So.
I think David Attell's got some real pressure on him. He's got to go out and promote the Gong Show. They're starting it on Comedy Central. He's the host.
He's the host, yeah.
Yeah, it's his show, so he's got to get out there.
You think there's real pressure? It's Comedy Central.
Yeah, well, no, there's pressure.
They're banking on this?
They're banking on him.
All right.
He's their one hope.
Now that they lost Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is there pressure on you to promote the Gong Show? In other words, you want this to be... But, I mean, you can laugh all you want, but this is a big deal to you. I mean,
It really is.
You need this to be successful.
This is my last chance.
Is this
Show
it?
business.
I mean, you've done a lot of work for Comedy Central. You've had HBO specials. You're a successful comedian.
You had your own show.
I did, yeah.
That didn't work out.
It didn't. What?
Well, I mean, it ended.
Well, I ended it, though.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
you
it was
did?
going to kill him, that show.
Why did you end your own David Attell show?
Because I only have one liver, and it got harder to do as it was called the Insomniac Show, not the David Attell Show.
All right, but it should have been called. Everyone called it the David. The whole industry called it.
They called the whole industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone in the industry called it the David
exactly.
Attell Show.
Variety, of course. Yeah. No, they called it. Why I ended it? Because it was getting harder to do, but I wanted to keep doing hour specials, and they wanted the half hours, and I guess in hindsight I should have kept doing it. But look at me now; I'm like an old, drunk guy. I mean, it just seems like.
Are you really a drunk?
Yeah, and that's why the Gong Show is like a perfect rehab of.
Do you have a drinking problem?
Yeah. Well, what is this? The first time on the air?
No, but I'm saying. I'm wondering.
I did not. I haven't had a drink in like 6 months. So, and the guys will back me up on the tour there. So.
How much is this a shtick? This addict kind of person?
I don't speak early Jewish vaudeville terms.
Right.
How much of my shticklach?
Yeah. How much? No, I mean, how much of this is your persona? Like Dean Martin. Everyone thought he was a raging alcoholic, and maybe he wasn't. But some people have suggested it was an act. Is this an act with you, or are you really having a problem? Do you need to go to rehab?
No, I think that what happened is just I got, I just stopped because, it was, I just was sick of, just doing nothing, and the drinking was boring after a while and shameful.
Was there cocaine involved?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
But that was years ago.
Right.
No,
because Sarah Silverman said when she went out with you, when she was your girlfriend,
right,
she saw no evidence of drinking or any of this behavior. It came after her, she said.
I thought he was always depressed, though.
Well, I didn't have any money then.
You didn't have money to buy alcohol.
Exactly. I didn't have any of that kind of remote control money, as we used to call it back in the 80s.
So they called you and said, we're starting the Gong Show again.
Wait, jump around and okay, and what else happened?
Wait, hold it.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, I'll get back to
This is how
everything.
you break a guy down. You don't stay on the same topic.
I thought we were on the same team a minute ago.
By the time I'm done, you'll see.
Watch out for a curveball coming.
I think I just got it.
No, it was Sarah Silverman.
Right.
I'll go back to that if you want.
No, that's okay. What are you going to do at the wedding? That's what I really want to know. Can I say?
Go ahead. Give me your suggestion.
2 weddings. It seems to work in every Ashton Kutcher movie. Why wouldn't it work for you?
You're making a good point.
You run from the guest house to the front of the house and the back of the and the mate's like, "What's going on, Mr. Howard?"
That is genius because there's so many people who split up. You could have the other partner there. That's a very, very
boring. All right. So what happened with the Gong Show?
Yeah, Dave.
Now let me. Can I say one thing? Tip of the hat.
Did you? Oh, thank you.
Tip of the hat to you. Howard takes it to the level that we can never get it to with these acts. Because you've brought on all these amazingly freakish people, cool people, brought out. They're fun, and I'm like, how do we do that? I don't think we got to that level, but you were the inspiration.
Thank you.
There you go. So, and that's not just sucking up. That's actually true.
No.
So.
It's nice to hear someone say that.
So,
but the Gong Show. Were you a fan of the Gong Show?
Yeah, I think the Gong Show was like the first time you actually saw freaks.
I was
and
a
doing
fan of
great things,
Yeah.
and like ukulele acts and guys in a bathtub and Gene, the dancing machine, all that stuff. And that was before YouTube, so that was like really the only outlet.
Right.
We take it down and dirty, more the road of hilarious than that. We've got something going that they don't have going for them, which is great judges, and the judges from Andy Dick to Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, Adam Carolla, all these different people came on, and they had a ball with it. They just they get involved in some of the acts. They lay it down. It's not like Sharon Osbourne giving this critique or some English dandy giving some kind of you'll never make it, mate. And blah,
so
blah,
it's
blah.
it's a direct ripoff of Howard Show.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We have everybody from unicyclers to queefers, and and in between. Yeah, that's your that's your bread and butter.
You do
here.
have a queefer.
Yes.
Oh, so can a queefer win?
I wanted. See, that's the thing. The whole thing that really got me was that, America's Got Talent. It's always like the juggler and the guy on the unicycle with the bag, and we had those people on, but I wanted the
hardcore.
The vaudeville, uncabaret people, like the girl shooting a dart with her vagina at her husband with balloons. I mean, I was like, I love this stuff,
but it's only so far you can go. It's still cable television.
No, they show it. Comedy Central's very cool about it. I give them a real
dart out of her vagina.
Yeah, well, you don't see the actual,
vagina.
The thing, but you see, it coming out. And
I see. So if
it is a kids program, the Gong Show. I remember it was on in the afternoon.
Now, are you able to negotiate with Comedy Central a decent salary? I mean, they're pretty tight with the dollar, are they not?
I'm betting that Dave got $20,000 an episode.
Wow, I say that's high.
It could be. It could be between 20 to 50, but it could be 30. I'll say around closer to 20 than 50.
Well, the funny thing is, Artie, you also are a sitcom actor, so if I was going to use my old quote from my part on Wings, from when I was on Just Shoot Me. No, but that's part of it too. But Comedy Central, money-wise, they bring the money if you bring the ratings. And the good and the bad of Comedy Central is that you can take it to the next level. Like the Gong Show would not work, and they've tried it a million different times. Yes. A lot of guys have tried it.
Yes.
And it is kind of like the Titanic of going down with the ship. And I could ramble off many hosts who've tried to do it. And we immediately went in and said, we're not going to try and do what Chuck Barris did. Okay, right. I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not wearing a Indian war bonnet with a kilt.
But Chuck Barris had fun with it.
Yeah, he was great.
He was almost looked drunk.
I always thought he was high.
How long did you date Sarah Silverman?
I don't know. Are you asking me to go to the wedding?
Yes. How long did
could
you
I go?
date? What, to my wedding?
Yeah.
Do you feel
not with that face.
To
my wedding?
Do you want to go to my wedding?
Oh, I guess my Gong Show money. I can't afford.
I mean, we're not
a Dell figurine. What if I bring a beautiful Kyrgyzstanian girl that I met in Kyrgyzstan?
Listen, I love you, and I think you're great, and I'd like to become friendly with you.
But you're not coming to the wedding.
But we never hang out together. I mean, would you really want to be there?
3 words: bong hits and Scrabble. Let's make it happen.
Let me put it to you this way, Dave. What kind of gift could you afford at Crate and Barrel?
Look, talk to me about Sarah Silverman and Jimmy Kimmel announced they have broken up. Right. That's why I bring this up.
Do you think it's because of the Gong Show?
No.
Is that like a thing in their relationship? If the Gong Show ever comes back.
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Why did you and Sarah break up? And maybe that'll give me insight into why Jimmy and Sarah broke up.
I don't, why?
Yeah, did she break up with you? Or
of course.
She did?
Yes.
You were in love with her?
Absolutely.
Seriously?
Well, what do you want me to say?
No, I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
But it was puppy love, you know what I'm saying?
All right, it was
not like the adult
ago.
love that you power couples share, you know?
Right.
The love of a jet getaway weekend to where do you guys go again?
But isn't all love puppified in a sense?
Where do you guys head off to, whether it's the Hamptons or Darfur to just help out?
Hold it.
To hold an AIDS baby?
Try to be serious with me about this. I'm trying to get insight.
His defense mechanism is up, Dave. Come on.
How long did you date Sarah Silverman? How many months, years? I don't know.
Well, I would like to think it was a couple of years.
Yeah.
And what would she say?
I don't know. She brings it.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm trying to get insight because I like Jimmy and Sarah very much.
I think they're going to get back together.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
Well, sweeps weeks are coming up, and October's rolling around, and nothing gets.
You think it'll be a big deal if they get back together?
You think this is a publicity stunt?
Yes, he does. No,
I really do.
No, but in all seriousness. You were going out with her. You loved her. Right. Was the sex great? I keep thinking that Jimmy and Sarah maybe didn't have great sex. That Jimmy maybe got bored or something.
Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to put this together.
You don't think Sarah got bored with
the sex? She could have. I'm asking from a man's point of view who slept with Sarah.
So Jimmy was the great lover?
Was Sarah a great lover?
She was a great. I would say she's like 3 lovers in one.
No, is she a great lover?
Isn't that a term that you really only use for like an older man?
Come on, stop.
She's a great lover.
Is she a great lover?
Yeah, she is. She's a very, I'll tell you one thing, and this is all in truth. She's a very alive person. She's very in the moment and all that kind of stuff. And me, a brooding, balding old guy, that's the kind of stuff that you're attracted to. Right. She's like a live person, and she's good at sports, and I could give a shit about sports, but,
the sex was frequent. In other words, it wasn't being withheld. It was a good
Is that what you think would happen with them?
I don't know. I'm trying to piece this together. It's shocking to me. I'm actually upset about it.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I enjoy hanging out with them as a couple.
Well, why can't you still do that?
As a couple?
I can't. They won't get together as a couple.
As a T-Mobile cell phone? Can't you? You know what?
What is your theory on this? What do you think happened?
I really just heard about it the other day because, We got a little saying in Afghanistan.
Right.
If you love it, no. I really don't know, but I'd say that both of them are, you know, like I don't know Jimmy that well, but I know her pretty well, or I did, and I think that, you know, they're probably working a lot, you know, like he has his show,
right,
and she has her show, and that's a lot of work, and then I think, you know, it's like adult stuff. It's not like when you're, you know, just out of college kind of hanging around things. So it's more of an adult scene that I probably wouldn't, you know about. But that's probably, I'd say, the problem. You know,
last time I saw her, she said, "I love him. I'm going to be with him the rest of my life." Blah 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 blah.
And what happened?
Well, this was the rest of her life. You just didn't know. It didn't mean she was going to be dead.
Right. I don't know. I don't understand it, to tell you the truth. I really
don't get it either. And you know,
have you ever done Jim's show or Jimmy's show?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
When during the Insomniac thing, I came out and did
you discuss having sex with her?
His girl?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Why not? Wouldn't that be great television to say, "Hey, I banged her, you banged her. Let's compare
That's
notes."
pretty rock and roll. It's not so much comedy. That's like what rock
funny?
guys do. Like Eric Clapton could do that or somebody. Like
I don't know. I mean,
I would have tuned in.
I would listen to you guys comparing notes and saying, you know, she didn't do this, but then Jimmy would go, "Oh no, she did that with me."
Don't you love it when he goes,
"She never licked my balls,
God,
and that upset me." And
you know, no, Dave wants to do jokes about shampoo and a sock.
You know, every time I come in here, you always bring up Sarah and all that stuff. What do I have to do that? Like, if I found Bin Laden on that trip, and I also opened Iron Man,
No, I only brought it up because of the news that they were.
I know.
I thought
it's
you
shocking.
could offer insight. I did.
Do you think it has something to do with the gas prices? Now, this leads into neutral territory.
Do you have sex videos of her with you?
No,
you never took her.
Before that, no, never.
Wow. Well, all right. I will drop it then.
Like, I mean, honestly, Howard, would you? Don't you feel like that's like you got to be really on your game to do that kind of stuff? Like
sex video?
Yeah.
You know, I've tried it and it never works out well. I've done it a couple of times in my life.
Now, a man in your position, why would you even put yourself in that? Position?
I look so bad.
You do
on these videos. You know, you think you're in decent shape.
What? You really aren't the the best judge. You should show us.
I did one where I took the video on my penis, and I don't know, it must have been bright light, but it looked very veiny and like it was. I was like, ugh.
You're too harsh and critical.
When people ask me that, I go, look, I'm embarrassed by video of me not having sex, just acting.
Yeah, right, just being around.
Right, yeah. I mean,
that's what I mean. You're too critical of yourself. You should let somebody else judge it.
Okay, Robin, I'd love to have your critique.
After Gary came back from Afghanistan, he came to me and he said, Dave Attell is a saint.
I said,
a saint. He said they should call him Saint Attell.
He really is.
Why do you? I said to Gary, why do you say this about David Attell? Because as far as I can see, he doesn't look like any kind of saint to me.
Right.
He seems very...
Nobody's ever described him that way before.
And he's a Jew.
And he's a Jew. That's right.
And then the Jimmy thing, right?
Right. So, and he fucked Sarah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see him being a saint.
No saint has ever fucked Sarah.
So Gary goes, Wolf, there were days when we were traveling. You know how he talks. He goes, Wolf, there were days we were traveling. And we would be very tired. And sometimes the USO would say, when you're eating, go have meals with the troops and talk to them. But sometimes we were so tired, we would just eat amongst ourselves. But Dave Attell would go over to the troops' tables, no matter what was going on, and sit there and talk with them. It's very, very important to him. The whole time he's there, he's talking to the troops.
He never shied away from the troops.
Right.
Well,
is that accurate?
That is accurate. And, the guys didn't know that that's part of the USO thing. It's not just doing the shows, but, they picked it up real quick.
Artie apparently didn't know.
All right.
Well, but Artie is different.
Slept, yeah.
We just...
Artie slept through all of Afghanistan.
But they were like, how do you do it? And I go, well, I was brought up as a runaway. And I was used to going truck to truck looking for love. No, it's...
What is
these guys are... I'm sorry.
Go ahead and explain yourself.
I'll explain. I'm glad that... First of all, I'm glad I couldn't pick better guys to go with because not just Artie and Gary, but Nick and Jim Florentine were great. And the whole thing is that the monotony... we see the war in little snippets on the news, and it's explosions and shooting. But then there's the other times of just monotonous routine, heat, being distant from their loved ones, their lives. You know, there's a lot of people there in the Guard and Reserve who have other lives that they've had to put on hold to do it.
And
what
the
we do is
psychological pressure, knowing that they might be killed at any minute.
exactly.
Right.
But besides all that, there's really just the never-endingness of it and the sameness of it, and that could be horrific or it could be boring, but it's over and over and over for over a year. And we're just like new faces that come in. We're not. I don't consider myself famous. I'm not, Jessica Simpson or anything like that. But we just come in and like whether they know you or not, it's just somebody else to talk to. Like comics are great because we don't bring any equipment. We just come in, tell a couple of dick jokes, and we're out of there.
Right.
And they love it dirty. And they might say the powers that be, keep it clean, do this, whatever. Yeah. But when it gets down to it, they always love it dirty, and we love bringing it to them that way. So.
Right.
Yeah, the
So it was
shows.
a good experience.
The shows were very
Risque.
successful, and obviously Dave destroyed, as did Nick. Everybody killed.
Yeah,
and Gary did a good job. And I mean, it is so satisfying afterwards at the meet and greet when these guys come up to you and say, "You know what, man? And every one of them were nice. We really appreciate you coming. We laughed, and it was good to escape for a while." And Dave has gone probably about 4 or 5 times. Is that right? You've been there quite a bit.
Different place,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You've been to Iraq? You've been to Afghanistan.
And, Afghanistan used to be the one where everybody's like, I hope I get sent to Afghanistan because it's safer. Now it's really, going crazy. Yeah.
Did you feel in danger at any time when the mortar attack? We read about the mortar attack. We asked Gary and we asked Artie about
Was
it
that
yesterday.
your first time being under attack?
Well, besides coming on this show, the emotional mortars, the rounds shot at me, the salvo.
Coming in.
No, it happened in Iraq too, but it wasn't like where we had to get in the bunkers. It was just kind of like, oh, by the way, we were attacked. But the best part, there's 2 stories I'd like to say about the whole tour. One of them was I was roommates with Artie for a while and Nick DiPaolo. And
fun. That's a fun room.
It was a fun room, and Artie, it's hard to sleep with him because he, you think like he's a bigger guy, he must snore. Well, I snore, Nick might snore or whatever, but he talks in his sleep.
Oh no!
Really?
And not just talks, he orders food in his sleep.
Oh, stop.
I'm not kidding around.
God.
Get Nick DiPaolo on the phone. It's so true.
Yeah, no.
Is that right?
Howard,
That's crazy.
Dana and a couple other chicks have said this to me.
You order food in your sleep?
And Howard, he sounds contrived, but he's telling the truth because
it is true.
Other people have told me this, and it's so embarrassing yet so funny.
I never heard it. Does it arrive? Does the food come after
what did I say?
I'm no Craig Gass, but may I try it?
Yeah.
It's like 2 burgers and a dew. Like Mountain Dew, 2 burgers and a dew.
Oh, he even
Are you
talked in
serious?
that
Yeah.
shorthand.
You mean he's laying there, and all of a sudden you start hearing him talking about food?
2 burgers and a dough.
Burgers.
But
What
not
else
just
does he
laying there.
mention? What else does he?
Just kind of shaky, kind of like.
I do. I get the shades.
What else? What else does he order? I'm curious. Pizza?
Well, Nick DiPaolo said the 2 burgers and a do thing, and that was why I knew
it's
they
true.
weren't bullshitting. Just 2 separate times they said the same exact thing that I ordered.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't even drink Mountain Dew.
And the whole trip too, he was not really eating. He was eating apples the whole time, and he had like 1 big meal, and that was about
it's
it.
amazing. Gary was telling me about you in Afghanistan, and he even said this, and I hope I don't embarrass you. He says, at one point, David Attell waved his hands over the desert, and it turned into water. I'm not kidding.
No, you know what?
I was afraid, like flying in the helicopters and all that kind of stuff, but that was pretty cool that we got a chance to do that.
That was really
Did
cool.
you shoot off a gun like Artie and Gary?
Yeah, I did.
You did, and you liked it.
Yeah, no, that's the coolest part of it because, like, they were like, "Hey, how do you know?" Like, because I watch all those military, like, history channels.
Why do you?
I love
it?
that stuff.
Why do you go? You didn't just go once. This is your 5th time over.
Well, no, I've been to Afghanistan twice and Iraq once, and then I've done like other USO.
Why
stuff.
do you do it? Do you feel an obligation?
Yeah, I also feel that like we're not really asked to do anything, and that like it's a really good. I guess we're lucky that we get to do it because we're in like show business.
Right.
But I just feel like don't get a chance to do anything. And like I've traveled a lot, but that part of the world is like a whole different animal. And,
it really is.
Like you would never. Well, I told this to I think Nick, whatever. When we were in the Kyrgyzstan airport, by the way, do not honeymoon around there because that's there was a guy getting on the plane with a bow and arrow. I'm not kidding around, Howard. I'm not kidding. A Mongolian hordsman, whatever, was getting on with a bow, and he was at the counter like, when can I get that flight? And I'm like, that guy's got a real bow and arrow on him, you know? And you're only afraid of the bow and arrow from a distance, but up close, it's kind of like retarded, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, no,
it's a bit I'm working on.
So you are a man who feels compelled to help his country any way you can, and you do it.
Yeah,
and you do it with joy.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Okay. The biggest surprise, delightful surprise, was when we went to the Predator base, and did Gary tell you this?
Oh yeah, the colonel.
The colonel of the Predator base is like the most devout fan of your show.
Wow.
Anyway, because we walk in and he's giving us like a bullet point thing on the Predator, which is pretty cool because Jeff Anthony, usually when you do the USO tour, you meet everybody. You meet like the guy who's in charge of sanitation, and he gives you like a rundown on how they do the base and like how they set up the city and all that kind of stuff. So some of it's kind of monotonous, but you know, you're there to meet the guy, so you got to, you know, sit through it. But this guy goes, I got a couple questions. One about the merger. And like he's like a colonel.
He's up on it.
Yeah. And the next one, Jim, are you still going out with Robin? And then like, where's Artie? Is he coming out? You know,
well,
he wants you to be up fanatical.
Right. Dave has been there so much, Howard. He knows enough, and he reads a lot of it. I guess. Yeah. Where he's talking to the Army guys in Army terms, like a guy will have a rifle, and we won't even know what the fuck it is, and Dave will be going, "What are you using that? Do you use S50s, or you got a 485 Glock on that?"
I didn't say.
I mean, no, you knew numbers.
You're a gun freak.
You're not a gun freak.
Nick in Lake Tahoe, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Howard. Thank you very much. I got a question for David Attell. Was there any time on the trip that you guys were so scared that you said, "Oh man, this is it. I don't know if we're ever going to get out of this one," or anything like that? Artie, Gary?
Probably when Artie was talking in his sleep about food.
I thought he was going to eat me. No. I think it's scary. I think the real scary part, because they can take really good care of you. The scariest part is the flying. You know, like you fly in a lot of different aircraft, old military aircraft, like from the the 60s.
Howard, no windows, and it's claustrophobic.
Yes,
and you're a target too.
And well, you can't fly over Iran or Pakistan, so it's really. Remember how you used to always bitch, and you were so right about how France wouldn't let us fly.
Right.
So these fucking planes have to go around and use more fuel. It takes longer, and these soldiers are packed in these planes with all this equipment, and because you can't fly over fucking Iran or France or whenever we couldn't do that, it takes longer, and they're tired. And you don't realize how important windows are on a plane to make you feel more secure.
Right.
You're just up and you don't know what's going on. But during the mortar fire, I got to a point where I really was a little first of all claustrophobic in the bunker. Second of all, a little bit, because there was a lot of us packed in. And when we're walking, you know, and that kid said to me, "Look, the way I look at it, if you get hit, you get vaporized," and it's like it's going to be weird just. That got to me a little bit, but they make you feel
it's got to hurt to be vaporized.
But they make
what is vaporized, Artie? Can you explain that a little?
Well, when in other words, you get hit with a weapon that's so powerful that it just like can turn you into dust immediately. Like, you don't even feel it.
Yeah, there's nothing left of you.
Right.
Gary said at one point, David Attell jumped on the mortar.
I would have done that if it was good for the show.
Well, did you ever at any time assess who would be a problem if it got heavy?
Well, I did think that if, let's say, we were captured, I know as a Jew, I would have had to think out one of the other guys.
Right.
No, if we like say got into a crash and we were in the desert by ourselves, abandoned, alone, and had to resort to cannibalism, you figure I'm going first because they're lasting 2 months on me.
Let's go to Jerry. Jerry, you're on the air in Dover.
Okay. Hey, besides that, the Gong Show looks like it's going to be funny as hell. But
thanks, man.
Hey, Sarah Silverman, little star fucker, did she take it up the ass?
Oh.
Wow. That's a legitimate question, and you got to deal with it any way you have to deal with it.
You really think he should answer that?
I do. I think it's legitimate. I don't think it's a nice question, but I think it's a legitimate question. Did Sarah take it in the ass?
No, I don't see any of that there. I think it was more by Kabbalah sex. You know, it was really...
It was more traditional.
Yes.
All right. I mean,
I like how that guy came at it.
You were with her in the early '90s. That was the height of the anal craze.
Was it really?
Absolutely. Even Robin went through it. Robin took it. I had it a couple of times in my ass. Yes, absolutely.
Well, back in the desert, that's really the only way to clean yourself. Clean your piece, as they call it.
That means she probably took it right up the ass.
What's going on with your relationships now? Do you have a girlfriend? No one ever reads about you in the tabloids.
The Gong Show is really, I think, like a eHarmony for me, because I met so many interesting ladies on there. This one girl.
Are you having sex?
Well, not really, because I stopped drinking.
You mean that ended your sex life?
Well, it does. It kind of like
you
rather go home.
loner?
Yeah, I'm actually one of the few guys who's cool being alone. And that was kind of the weird thing, like sharing a room with these guys.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll say it too, like, Artie, you're on the road all the time, but you get like your own. At the end, you go into your own room and you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of like this, like guy club, and like you're afraid to like undress in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Although you're walking around wearing just a towel, a towel,
and that's always fun. But we had, because again and again, like Dave said, we couldn't pick a better bunch of guys. There were a couple of nights where we couldn't sleep, and it was just me, Nick, and Dave, and just laughing all night because we you just love each other's company on top of being performers. And I mean, Dave, is being humble a little bit. A ton of guys recognize him from Insomniac. They love seeing him.
Right.
And he goes up and like literally at the mess hall, he'll go out of his way to just talk to guys. And like I told you yesterday, there was one group of guys who said to me and Gary, look, they were just out of Fort Hood, Texas, going away for 15 months. They asked, could you hang out with us? And Dave was very aware of that, and he always did it. Never said no to anything. So I mean,
Dave.
It was a great. It was a great. It was a great.
That's
tour.
not true. But, I mean, thank you, Artie. But a lot of it has to do with like that's our fan base too. These guys are the guys who come see our shows when they're and it's like that's the cool connection, because it's not just like they know your stuff, or like a lot of them have said
you don't care. You never think about your own life. You never think about the fact that you might get killed over there.
Well, I'm kind of hoping.
You're hoping you die.
Since I have a miserable life,
Now tell me, you don't have a girlfriend?
I don't.
And
so I can't go to the wedding then.
You don't have anybody who?
No, I have a friend.
You got a friend. Yeah. Something's going on.
Well,
Why are you keeping it such a secret?
No, she's not my girlfriend though.
Why are you hiding her? Bring her in here now.
Why did you say it to her?
You know what I'm gonna.
Who are you voting for now that you've been overseas and you've seen the action firsthand? Who will be the best man to handle the situation in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Wow.
Is it Obama or is it McCain?
Well, sometimes I think it's really, I think, the 1-2 punch. You got to get like the right vice president, and like sometimes I think like, late at night, especially after a drinking binge, the best guy for the job would be Obama and the Burger King. The actual Burger King.
Stop it.
No.
Tell me who you're for.
Who am I for?
Yeah. Who is the best commander-in-chief? You've been with the troops.
Yeah.
Mayor McChee.
You've spoken with the troops.
Yes, I've spoken to them and heard their views.
You think the Burger King would be a good vice president?
Well, the Burger King burnt down. Talk about...
Oh, that's right. Oh,
you didn't tell that story?
Well, I was trying to, but we were all over the place. But
we only had 3 hours.
The Afghanistan...
The Afghanistan Burger King.
The Kandahar, the base we were at in Kandahar, the place that stunk like shit.
Yeah, the Kandahar Beaky.
Yeah, it had a Burger King.
Yeah.
And of course, I hear that, my eyes light up.
Yeah.
And then they go, but it burnt down last week.
Yeah.
A mortar hit the fucking Burger King. So I was looking to have a Whopper with cheese with shit on it.
I've actually gone to a fast food restaurant, whether it was Burger King or McDonald's in Aruba many years ago.
Right.
And it was so bad.
Really getting into the local culture.
Oh, my God. I was so fat back then that I decided I needed to eat Burger King. And I go in Aruba, and I go into the local town. It took over an hour to get a burger. There's no such thing as fast food. Can you imagine in Afghanistan what that would have been like? I mean, you would have been sick, I'm sure, for months.
And the guy behind the counter.
Yeah.
What would you like? You know what else they have? Like a Starbucks ripoff type place that they build.
What, the Tim Hortons?
Well, not the Tim Hortons. Like
I love that place. Talk about real heroes. It's those 4 Canadian girls working at the Tim Hortons.
Yeah, there's a Tim Hortons
in Afghanistan.
And there's like a coffee bean type place.
Yeah.
Green bean, whatever.
You think they set that up for the troops, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole city. So the funny thing is, you see a lot of these big, good old boys from the South walking around with an M16 and a caramel macchiato.
Yeah.
Frappuccino.
Isn't it amazing, like, the lengths people will go to make a living? I mean, that's pretty something. That's extreme to set up like a Starbucks in Afghanistan.
Right, and it's
when
always
you hear
packed.
about those people who get kidnapped, it's always some guy from the Midwest who needed a job.
It's always a barista at Starbucks.
Shows you how shitty things are out there.
In Kyrgyzstan, the cool thing is because the people are like Russian hybrid. You know, like you'll meet like a girl like with one blue eye, like a husky, like weird hot girls, and they get jobs on the bases. And like I was up early one day, like just chain smoking outside, and these two guys walked by, a guy and a girl, and they're like wearing like all yellow. I could tell they're not in the military; they're like contracted in. And there's like this drop dead blonde hottie who in New York would be, you know, like the top of the totem pole. She's like collecting my cigarette butts and like putting them in this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I couldn't believe it. Like that's the best job there.
Local Russian nanny.
They need Tyra Banks to find her or something.
All right,
smoking blondes.
All right, you didn't answer my question,
right?
Because Artie said he now was leaning toward McCain after coming back from the troops.
A little bit, not totally. I don't know.
You could switch back.
Who are you supporting?
Well, I don't really know who I'm going to support. I always go for the ones who are like pro-abortion and all that kind of stuff, gay rights and all that. Because you know, like I feel like it's too stiff out there, especially in the comedy clubs with all the you know church stuff. But you know, that's just me. You know, whatever. But
plus, you're a gay guy who's had an abortion,
right?
So that would be Obama you're for.
Yeah, I guess that. But I do love McCain. Like I read all his books, and I think he's definitely like, you know.
So you're having a hard time deciding.
It's very hard. So
And
I probably,
also-
you know what I think I'm going to do? Sleep in and not vote. You think that's good?
No,
That's
maybe
what I do.
That's the answer.
You
Will
also know that McCain can't really be fucking in real life anti-abortion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude.
Policy.
Yeah, I know. He should say it, but these crazy Bible Belt people have you by the fucking balls.
Well, then he's got to stand up to them. That's what I think.
That would be leadership.
One other thing I said in my sleep, I just remembered that, and again, other people have said this, and Nick told me this, that on top of that, he claims that I said, and again, I shake around when I do it, and Nick does such a funny impression of me shaking around.
But what does he claim you said?
He claims I said, no, regular Coke.
Regular Coke.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know if that was a drug.
I'm not
the
kidding.
greatest thing I ever
I mean,
heard.
and these both guys said when they woke up with me one night that I was ordering a burger and a Mountain Dew. I don't
dream about food like most guys dream about pussy.
Exactly.
Well, I had a
Maybe.
wet dream, and I woke up and it was all ketchup and Russian dressing.
He would go to sleep with like ice tongues,
Do you
like a
realize
teddy.
do you realize his nightmare is being served Diet Coke? He hates it so much.
I do.
I never
Listen,
thought of it that
one
way.
final question.
Yeah.
Will you call Sarah Silverman and try to date her again now that she's broken up with you?
Howard, I'm not even. I said it before. I'm not in her league. I mean, come on.
I
mean,
think you're really hot.
You do?
I do.
I've been trying to dress a little bit more adult.
You
I'm
look
glad
good.
you picked up on it.
You know what,
Because if
Howard?
you're going to host
Very,
the God show, you got to show people that you're in charge.
Very relaxed with a suit jacket, like
Yeah.
George Carlin.
Like
with
an
a
Armand
beard.
DeSante.
Right.
You know
It was
what,
my
Howard?
pace
enough
car.
nonsense.
Dave is being again. If any interviewer could get it out of him, it's you. But Dave has that comedian thing where he tells all these jokes. But I don't know this for sure, and I've known him for a long time. But in the early '90s, he was like the king of New York, like the best comedian
That's
there
nice,
was.
Ari.
And when he was playing at a club, other comedians would be late for spots at other places.
All right, so
because
what happened?
You'd stop and watch him. Well,
setup.
what I'm saying is,
Am I dying?
on top of Sarah, I guarantee he got so much pussy back then because he just was like the shit, And
So you downplaying the amount of pussy you get?
I don't know.
Says?
Would you guys one at a time? Even the Taliban, they give them a blanket and a Quran.
You're
when
a
they-
famous guy now, Dave. Come on.
This is all I'm going to say, okay? First of all, she's really funny. He's really, Jimmy's really funny, and I'm sure something's going to happen, and, whatever.
Right.
But in terms of already saying that, that's really cool because when I was on the tour with him and Nick, who, I don't know if you guys know, but in the early 90s, Nick DiPaolo was the guy.
Right.
He really was we would look at him and wow, this guy, he'd show up, good
Amazing.
looking guy, really on top of his game. And, I still look at him in awe when I think about his writing skills and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of really good comics on the tour. And then Artie had to do a half an hour. So that's pretty rough. And we divvied up the dick jokes and the masturbation stuff.
Right. The good thing is that every guy, Florentine, Dave, and Nick are all headliners. So they were nice enough to Like, by the time I get up, you got to leave the headliners some subjects to go for. Like,
right. So they were gracious and left you.
Yeah, they knew exactly how to set you up.
That was a great
You guys are all
deflection.
great, I have to say.
I know, it's a real like love fest.
I've never met a bunch of greater guys.
Well, I mean,
let me tell you what really happened.
Other than Sarah Silverman, have you ever fucked anyone else famous?
Yeah, you asked him a question and he deflected.
Well, that's what I mean. This is what he does.
No, what happens. All right, listen.
We'll never get it out of
See the Gong Show. I'm excited it's coming back. I like the idea of you as host. I think it'll be successful. I hope so.
But honestly, a tip of the hat to you. And
thank you.
But
we
Howard,
really did look at
one
your
more
vision.
thing, because you'll like this. This is a plug. While I was over there, there's an organization called the Coalition for Major Injuries. These are all guys who come back from the war.
Oh, is this where Dave cut off his own leg and gave it to a soldier?
Gave it to a guy?
I heard about that.
He's a saint.
These are all guys who are like amputees, bad head injuries, and they're all at a hospital in Florida. And there's an organization that runs, support for these guys. It's a big charity because there's not enough money for these guys, which is awful. And Dave does work with them. And while we were at one of the meet and greets, a guy came up to me and said, Art, you don't know this, but I have half a leg, and I chose to come back here to work administration, but I work with this coalition. Would you guys do a show in Orlando, Florida for us? And maybe, like, if it's you and Attell and these guys, we get 4,000 people and just give it all to the workers. I gave him my phone number, and I've been in touch with someone he knows. And Dave immediately said yes.
Yes.
And
so
sometime,
he's a very giving man, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometime in October, November, we're gonna do like a 4,000 seater for this
That's
coalition
very nice.
of injured people in Florida.
You guys are really giving back.
And Jimmy Florentine and DePaulo already said they would do it. And again, it's a free show, and it's what is the official name of that, Dave? It's the coalition of.
Dave, let me ask you something about that.
It's Wounded Warrior. I thought we were
Wounded
talking about.
Warrior.
So I didn't hear about this Orlando thing, but that's
how
cool.
did Sarah let you know she was leaving you? All right, listen. Okay. Dave, best of luck. We love when you come in here.
So, Dave, are you really the saint that Gary's making you out to be?
I think they built me up pretty hardcore, but one man saint is just another man doing his job. Not like these Hollywood types.
No, we really want credit. Come on.
No, but they, I don't know.
It was, put it this way, there were a lot of dick jokes that the guys loved. That's what
I think everybody did their job, but it's not really a job like you kind of enjoy it and all that kind of stuff.
I couldn't do my 20
I like
minutes.
how Howard brings you back to earth. You can do anything, and he's like,
Dave, how do you think Artie handled the hot weather over there? I know he was nervous about that for a while.
I have to say honestly, I really didn't think he would make it through the 100+ degree temperature, but he did.
I slept most of the days anyway in air conditioning.
With his
ordering food,
his Green Beret training kicked in. And he did it. Like when he had to be up, he did it, because after like 7 in the morning, it starts getting really hot. And by afternoon, it's like way too hot. But the locals seem to be moving. I don't know. I'm just rambling, but.
It's John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
On Monday's wrap-up show, I talked about two of my favorite comedians in the whole world. No, I'm not talking about Sal and Richard. I'm talking about Cheech and Chong.
The comedy duo that reunited and were the featured guest on today's show, and I'd be referring to Cheech and Chong.
Boy, I got to tell you, I don't know if it's an age thing, but for me, having Cheech and Chong on is like what it must have been like for my parents to see Martin and Lewis. I mean, they are such the quintessential comedians of that kind for my age, not as a live act, but their records. And John and I were talking about how Richard had put up a bunch of sound bites of Cheech and Chong this morning, and we sort of laughed because I thought they were sort of the unfunnier ones of Cheech and Chong. And I think that Richard, who's such a huge fan of them, knows them more from the movies. And if you're older, you know them more from their records.
Right. There are definitely two types of Cheech and Chong fans. Gary and I were talking about, like, Sister Mary Elephant and the
Dave's Not Here.
And the other radio clips. And Richard was put up movie stuff,
Right.
stuff from movies. But, of course, Cheech and Chong is Richard's favorite comedy duo, or at least Richard was accused that it was his favorite for today.
Exactly. But, Richard, of course, wore a Cheech and Chong shirt, which was really funny. I was saying, I've been listening to Cheech and Chong, so I started getting into them so young that I got the album Big Bamboo, and I had no idea what the paper inside was for. It came with a giant rolling paper. I didn't even know what that was about.
If you don't know their earlier stuff, there's a thing called Cheech and Chong's Greatest Hit, HIT, and that's got a lot of their classic bits if you want to familiarize yourself with them.
The Yellow Album, Cheech and Chong, the Yellow Album, and Big Bamboo are maybe two of the funniest comedy records ever made.
Well, now joining us is Cheech and Chong's biggest fan, as evidenced by his iron-on T-shirt, Richard Christie. Richard, you've been accused of having too many favorites. Are you offended by that?
No. I mean, I like a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. I like a lot of things. And
but you have to your favorite really has to be narrowed down to like 11.
Okay, well, I mean, for me, the only other two guys, like comedy duo that could have came in that I really flipped out on would have been the McKenzie brothers. But I don't think they're going to get back together.
Richard hovers around my office when there's a guest that he really likes because he wants to go in, and I'd like to let him go in. But, he's got to have something to say, so he went in to ask them if they were going to make another movie. That was a good question. Then he's hovering around my office, and he goes, should I go in and ask them if they feel ripped off by the McKenzie brothers? I was like, nobody cares, Richard. That's the McKenzie brothers.
John cares.
People in Canada don't give a shit.
I love the McKenzie brothers.
Oh, they're awesome. By the way, I do love the Cheech and Chong albums, too. I have all the albums. I have Big Bamboo with the rolling paper still in it, the huge rolling paper.
Do you think everything's cool between those two? There seems to be some kind of tension there.
I think that they sort of have it together more now. It's hard to tell. I mean, I don't know them, but they're not acting any different than when they were on our TV show in 1992. I mean, they're sort of like, they've been around, they've seen a lot. What are you going to tell them? But they seem to get along. I mean, here's the interesting thing. They came in, the two of them, and Cheech's girlfriend, is that? Fiance. And nobody else, no PR people. So they clearly, hang together. There was nobody, a PR person or anything.
Did the fiance just stroll in?
That was, that's a weird thing. When you watch it on Howard TV, we got to talk about this a lot. People feel very comfortable with the show. In other words, if you were on the Letterman show, you would go out on the Letterman show and you wouldn't bring, your grandmother, your fiance, an aunt, a good friend. But people bring people into the studio. So she caught me off guard. They just walked her into the studio. And it's uncomfortable to say, I've done it to people before where you put the hand up and say you have to wait here, because then while somebody's coming in and Howard's introducing them, there's that uncomfortable thing like, you're leaving them at the wall, at the Berlin Wall. You can come across, but you can't.
Lucky for you, though, she had a great accent, so she ended up being good on the radio.
The only reason I didn't mind her coming in because I knew we were going to get to her sooner or later anyway.
And Benji, did you sense any tension there?
Between Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
To me, it seemed hyped. I didn't feel, but Gary says he feels it like...
No, I didn't say I felt any tension.
Oh, I thought you did.
No. I'm saying that they're two guys that have just been together a long time.
That's how I think. I think it's just like people here. They work together, and I think they're buddies, and they're work buddies.
All right, if you missed it, here's a little bit of Cheech and Chong talking to Howard.
You're telling me Tommy said to you, I'm not getting back together the Cheech and Chong thing unless my wife can open for us.
Well, not in so many words, but yeah.
But he
Tommy,
has to travel with his wife.
You were anxious to get back together with Cheech all these years. You would have blown it just for your wife like that?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Is that fair to Cheech, though?
I don't care. Enter into it.
I don't
care about Cheech. Come on. My wife never left me. She stayed with me.
There's definitely some bitterness there.
Does his wife do stand-up or sing? What does she do to
I don't know.
I wasn't sure. Oh, no, I think Cheech said that she has some chops, but I wasn't sure if it was singing or
and she's
comedy.
in some of their movies. She's really funny. She's in Corsican Brothers. She's in a movie Chong did called Far Out Man, after they Cheech and Chong broke up. But she's funny in the movies, so I'm sure she's probably funny on stage.
But you'll agree that's a bizarre rider to have the wife do 20 or 30 minutes before any performance.
It's a totally bizarre writer to have unless your name's Jackie Martling.
But if you're a fan, if you're a big fan of Cheech and Chong, I think you might get a kick out of that for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. But inevitably she has to have talent, or people aren't going to put up for that. And nobody's ever emailed me and said, "Oh my God, whoever opens sucks." So she must be good at whatever it is she does.
By the way, did you guys notice too? Chong was breathing really heavy.
Yeah,
I was thinking that the pot smoking must be catching up.
Well, first of all, I was shocked to find out that I knew they were older. I was shocked to find out that he's 70.
Yeah, 70 years old.
I mean,
well, yeah, he was in his mid or late 30s when they got really big, I think, because he had a big musical career before, too.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. The question that I asked him about that movie with Eric Roberts, he sort of brushed it off like it was no big deal. That was a movie that just came over the transom, he said. But everybody who's a fan, like Richard, I bounced it off of Richard first. We both saw that as a Cheech and Chong movie without Chong, with the guy stepping in for Chong. But I guess Chong didn't seem to care.
Yeah, and I thought it was not ironic, but surprising that it was the music that brought them back together, not the comedy. Now, how can some people are saying in the back, how can you be a big Cheech and Chong fan without ever getting stoned? Like, I know weed just isn't your thing.
Well, it was kind of a thing where in high school and junior high, me and my best friend Scott, we kind of modeled our lives after Cheech and Chong. That was our idols. We'd get together at his dad's house every weekend, watch Cheech and Chong movies and watch Strange Brew. We also idolized the McKenzie brothers. And we always said, when we graduate high school, we're going to move to East L.A., we're going to get a house just like in Cheech and Chong's next movie, and just live the lives of Cheech and Chong. We just admired them so much, and it wasn't even about pot. It was just they had so much fun, and they were such cool guys.
But you admired them so much, and you're moving and all this other stuff. You're telling me you never tried to get high based on everything that they've done?
I did. In high school, I dabbled in grass a little bit, and just...
What is this, Dragnet? I dabbled in grass?
And the only fun I ever had on it, because it just made me sleepy, and made me cough. But one time a friend of mine had a black light and his teeth were green, and I laughed for about an hour at that. But other than that, it didn't do much. Yeah, it looked like Gary, but it didn't do much for me.
Hey, it's Sal, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we discussed me finally going out to dinner with the great Howard Stern. And I promise you, I'm going to be on my best behavior. So check it out.
We should start off with the hot topic in the office, and that's this dinner that Howard proposed. And if you didn't hear it, I'll set it up. Beth apparently got invited to a birthday party, but it's a girls' night out, which Howard took offense to, I guess. And so to retaliate, he decided to have a night out with the guys, but he didn't want it to be the typical crew that he goes out with. He said he wanted to reward some of the people who work here.
Right.
So he immediately asked Artie, and then they sort of picked and chose and went through almost everybody on the staff with a couple of exceptions.
Well, let me ask you a question. Originally, it didn't start out with rewarding people here. Originally, it started out with putting a crew together that would make Beth jealous.
Correct.
And that didn't work.
Correct.
Artie and Tim Sabian weren't cutting it.
Right.
So then it went to, okay, so let's reward some of the people here who don't usually get to go out.
Well, I think JD was always part of the mix,
right?
Regardless of whatever the makeup was. But he went through everybody with a couple notable exceptions. One is Scott, the engineer, who was very upset at not being included and said he's permanently on the do not invite list. But the other person who didn't get any consideration, Gary, was you.
Yes, I did notice that. Well, Howard brushed it off quickly, and he goes, Gary gets invited to a lot of stuff, which is true, which is fine. And if you were being true to what you were doing for this dinner, I'd feel fine. But Artie gets to go to everything. So in other words, Artie's immediately a slam dunk to go. And then Fred, who works in the studio, is going. And then all of a sudden Benji's going. And then I realize I'm the only person that works in the studio that's not going.
Was that an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing?
No, because my name came up a couple of times. Howard's like, Gary gets to go to enough stuff.
And do you think that's fair?
Well, it's fair if you were going to take out Richard and Sal and Will and Jason, then it's fair. But I'm not, listen, fair, I won't say fair or not fair because it's not that big a deal. And I'm also out of town on Thursday night anyway because I'm going to Vegas. But, don't use the I'm going to reward some people card and then immediately invite Artie and Fred.
Right, but you still would have, I'm sure you
It's always nice to be considered.
Right, you want the opportunity to say no.
Again, I don't mind it as much because I get invited to a lot of stuff. But I know that this is always a great bit for the show because it really shows you your standing in the organization. I know there's people that sit out there waiting for their name to come by, and it comes by, and depending on how much consideration they get, it's telling.
Now, Benji, you were in, you were out. Are you in the final crew?
I don't know. And it does, I said I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But I do, but I hate that I give a fuck.
But why? But it's human nature. Of course you care.
Because it's completely. He has the velvet rope. It's just a popularity thing.
Right. So you want to be popular? What's wrong with that?
I don't like that aspect. I wish I could be above that and not give a fuck about that.
What are you, Gandhi?
I don't know.
I think everybody wants to be included to a certain extent.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. beyond the fact of one, the popularity, two, it has like political influence at work. I'm not any more attracted to going out with Howard than I am like going out with like a night out with JD or anyone here. I'd like to get to know a lot of people better on like a one-on-one type thing. And I hate that I give a fuck about the popularity at the moment.
Okay, now a surprise choice was Sal, and Sal actually turned down an opportunity originally when Howard was talking about bringing Richard. Sal was like, "No, it's okay. Richard can go. I'm cool." But Sal, you did get invited.
Congratulations! It's going to send you on a spending spree at Bumble, whatever, where you get
Bumble and Bumble,
where you get your cosmetics.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But were you surprised that you got the invite?
Yeah, I guess I was, because he's made it perfectly clear every day that he does not want me at any private event with him.
Well, no. He didn't say he doesn't want you at any private
after
event.
the wedding, he said it. He said his birthday came up, and Robin said, "Would I be there?" He says, "No, Sal will not be at anything, any events in the future." And I know he jokes around about that, and that's fine.
I think you're better suited to an all-male outing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I think when there's couples involved and there's more of a classy event, I think there's more of a fear that you might do something weird.
Yeah. Well, is this going to be classy or?
Well, yeah. It's going to be a nice restaurant.
All right.
So hey, can I ask you? I heard a story about you. I wonder if it's true. Is it true that you went to a nice restaurant with Jason and the guys, and you took a piece of ketchup and put it on your forehead and started imitating the Indian waiter?
Ketchup? I don't remember
or
that.
Mustard or something.
No, I think we were at Del Frisco, and I put the napkin. I made a turban around my head, but I had a few in me, and it was just a joke.
Right. So could something like that happen?
No, not around Howard.
Everything's just a joke.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. You know what I'll do? Maybe I'll get some ketchup and make a Hitler mustache and do Hail Hitler in front of Howard.
Was there like an
Indian
Indian waiter?
That's not what I will do.
What? Was there
do?
like an Indian in the vicinity that you were kind of?
No, I don't recall.
I remember. He was just being stupid.
Yeah, we were just having fun. I mean, it's just so funny how in a private environment it's so funny, but in front of these microphones, it's all of a sudden the worst possible thing, the most unethical, the most ridiculous, the most racist, the most awful thing in the world. Yet these same people, these great people that I love around me in that same environment, are laughing their balls off at that moment.
Who besides you do you know that does stuff like that?
My Uncle Don.
Okay. but I mean, in other words, like, Jason...
And he doesn't have to go to a radio show in the morning and explain why he used a certain word in a certain way. You know what I mean? He's got the free pass. He's got it made.
What's the free pass?
The free pass is you could do stuff without getting your balls broken by people who really do find it entertaining, but said, "Hey, you know what? This could be kind of fun by giving this guy a dig and breaking his balls."
Sal, you said
I know it's one ball breaking environment, but sometimes things go a little too far.
You said something very telling just before. You said, "No, I know what I'm going to do. I won't do that." What is? You have it planned out in your head how you're going to act at this thing already?
I'm going to act like a civil human being. I'm going to sit down.
But that's not you.
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean...
At Will's wedding, I was a civil human
But I mean,
being.
you want to have fun. I'm not saying you have to be uncivilized. Can you have fun and still control yourself from doing something wacky? Because, you don't want to go there and sit on your hands, right?
No.
I mean, it's a fun night. Like, it's you and...
Listen, Howard's definition of fun off the air versus fun on the air are two totally
what do you
different
mean?
things. Off the air, Howard likes to relax, so I'm gonna go with the flow of the table, like anything else. If a bunch of guys are there and it's a quiet, calm night where a good conversation is being engaged, that's what I'll go with. I'm not gonna go there and start slapping my balls in the ice water. I'm just gonna have a nice time, and I also know, that this is Howard's invitation. So let Howard decide. He's the host of the dinner. So I'll let him decide. How the flow should go. I'm going to shut my mouth and have a nice time with Howard. That's basically it.
How many guys have to put the dot in their head before you do?
4 or 5 if they want. If I went out to dinner one time with Howard when we first started working here, Richard and myself, we had a phenomenal dinner. We had a really, really great time, and and some great ideas came out of that dinner as well.
But that was early on. That was pre your antics. You know what I mean? In other words,
yes.
You were on sort of like on your best behavior.
Yeah. And look, this is a dinner. I mean, we're not going to Ringling Brothers. We're going to sit down, take out a knife and fork, put it in your mouth, talk a little bit, have a few laughs, and go home like gentlemen. That's the night.
Why did you suggest going out to get a couple dances afterwards?
Because we're men. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not saying there is. I just want to know what prompted you to, why suggest that?
Why not? Why not?
Well, I thought you were going to follow Howard's lead on the night. And Howard's not going to do that.
Well, you never know. You a couple of drinks in you, all of a sudden you start thinking differently. The road to hell was paved with bad intentions, my friend, and bad intentions are created by alcohol.
I thought the road was paved with good intentions.
Oh, was it?
There's two roads.
Not Sal's.
Well, no, whatever the case. However it goes, we're paving a road to Rick's. That's all I know.
Hey, on Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about Robin's sex life, or lack thereof, and somebody posed the question, who would you rather bang, Lisa G or Robin? I picked Robin, personally, because she looks way more experienced than Lisa, and I have a feeling she could teach me some new things, but quite frankly, I don't think I am anywhere near man enough for her. I think she would laugh at me and kick me out of her bed. So, check it out.
We should start off with the news person of the show, Robin Quivers, and her many, apparently, or her current young love. And as you said, Garrett, it's sort of chipping away, and Robin is starting to give up more and more about what's going on with this guy.
It's a process. It is a process. It's like getting, a big piece of clay, and we're trying to develop it into the Michelangelo's David. But Howard's great at getting stuff. And Robin, listen, Robin's not stupid. She works on the show, and she realizes, as time goes on, she's sort of got to give it up. But as time goes on, the relationship becomes more interesting.
Now, she was in denial about some sex stuff, right, Jason? Like, what's the deal with that?
Well, Gary had brought up the point that she had said, multiple times on the air that she was looking to date a younger guy when she broke up with Mr. X. And, so we looked it up in the log, and there's certainly many occasions where she was talking about how she wanted, someone really young, someone inappropriately young. She did flat out say, I want to bang someone inappropriately.
And Robin's
so now she's clinging to that.
She's playing this very wisely. She said, I said I want to date a young guy. I never said I wanted to bang a young guy.
What's the truth?
Well, no, but we just want to listen. Robin
is not looking to hold hands with a young dude. Okay, I mean, what's the point of hanging out with a 20-year-old dude? What, you want to get to know him? I don't think so.
Robin's, in the grand scheme of the young old thing, Robin's a relatively young woman. It's not like she's 80 and she's looking to have arm candy on her arm. She's fucking looking good, and she's still got needs. Whatever you want to call them.
All right, so those needs get fulfilled, let's say, or don't they get fulfilled? Like, does she keep coming back for more? Is that what's going on here?
Coming back for more why?
Well, being with whoever she is with now, or, she speculated on that a long time ago.
Robin clearly doesn't like to talk about her sex life.
Which is awesome.
Because, it took her like 7 months to admit that she slept with Jimmy Florentine, and I'm still not 100% sure if she admitted she slept with Jimmy Florentine.
I don't think she ever admitted that.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Robin is a beautiful, sexy woman. She is banging. She's not dating a guy and not banging, and I'll just leave it at that.
No, but I think that Robin probably is having relations with the guy, but she doesn't see it as banging. See, that's the difference.
What do you mean?
In other words, she's dating a gentleman that she's sleeping with, possibly making love with, but she's not banging a guy.
That was my terminology.
So you're just saying she doesn't call it banging, but
right.
I can believe she's not having intercourse with him yet.
This guy, yes. Possible, depending, because she said they've only been on 2 or 3 days.
Other guys know?
I'm saying that Robin is acting like she's a virgin. Not acting. She doesn't want to talk about her sex life. I believe that in the 2.5 years since she's been broken up with Mr. X, I'm sure she's had sex. I hope she's had sex. But she's just not talking about it.
See, that's what I like, the fact that Robin isn't willing to talk about her sex life. If Robin was one of those women, like if she came on and she wanted to give us every detail every time, it would get sort of boring quickly. I love that you got to pull it out of her, and I love that she doesn't want to just give it up.
I agree, but to a point, when she's dating Jim Florentine for 8 months and still won't admit she's having sex with him, it's just annoying.
I look at Robin more like a sister. You know what I mean? And
she's everybody's sister.
No, I really do. I look at Robin like a sister.
But
such an asshole.
She's a sister, of course. That's a bad example.
Quiet. I look at Robin more like a sister, and while I do understand that my sister is grown and does have sex, I don't want to know every dirty detail, and I don't want to think my sister's a whore. So I love the way Robin handles it on the air.
I don't look at Robin as a sister, so I'd like to hear all the sexy details.
Are you into Robin?
Am I into Robin?
Yeah.
She's very attractive, and she's very sexual. Howard was talking on the other day that there's some chicks that even though they're pretty, they're not sexual. Robin is sexual. Like, Robin definitely has a sexual vibe from her. So when I look at her, I don't think of her as non-sexual like a sister. I look at her as a sexual person. Absolutely.
Have you ever fantasized about her?
No. That's the truth.
Never?
I tell you. No, never have.
Just don't say anything, Sal.
I've never fantasized
Jace, that's
about
hard
her.
to believe you're sexually attracted to her then.
Look, I'm not. No. I think you're missing my point. I'm not saying that I'm sitting here jonesing over Robin. What I'm saying is that she is a sexual person. I don't look at her like my sister. Doesn't mean I'm going home and jerking off to her either. I just think that she, especially now with her weight loss and her new outfits and everything, she's been looking very good. She's clearly a sexual being, and so Gary says he looks at her like a sister. When I don't have a sister, but I'm assuming you don't look at your sister in a sexual way at all.
Well, how do you look at your brother? You look at his brother
very
sexual?
sexual.
Okay.
I'm very into my.
You know,
brothers.
you got to say when I started working with this whole gang. I mean, I was a little kid who lived at home with my mommy and daddy, and so that's how long I've known Robin. I'm not saying that I can't think about Robin that way. I just don't.
Right. I mean, and I like you a lot, Lisa G, but I don't look at Lisa as a sexual person.
Have you ever fantasized about Lisa?
No, I don't think so. No, the answer is no.
You mean, Gary, Robin has never grazed your mind
Never.
when you've been tossing one off?
No, I could really be honest. She
Even
never has.
accidentally, it doesn't pop in. You decide not to do it.
No. I mean, it really just it's a weird thing. I would tell you in a minute. Listen, I got in trouble once. I admitted to jerking off to an intern. I'll tell you any of that. But it just hasn't happened.
I don't think you like black women.
That is so not true.
I've never heard you discuss them. I don't think you're attracted to them.
I totally am.
Are you?
Listen, I don't have like like some people we know, like a
fetish,
like where some guys are only. But there's many black women that I find very attractive.
Have you ever slept with a black woman?
No, I haven't, but it wasn't for lack of trying.
Benji, have you?
I think black women aren't interested in me.
Have you fantasized about Robin?
I know I've had a sexual dream about her. I wrote it up once, like a real intricate sexual dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's popped in my head before.
What about Lisa G?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely have a couple weeks ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I just but anyone that's at all attractive, I mean, at some point they go through my head.
How about you, Sal?
What? Robin, absolutely. I would love to have crazy, wild, filthy, stretch-out sex with Robin.
Now, was this... wait. Before you get to Lisa, was this with Robin before you worked here, like when you were a listener, or once you met? Like, how did that work?
I would say both, And Lisa G, definitely. I would love to, just have crazy, wild-on, filthy, smelly sex with Lisa G.
Well, Jason says that Lisa really isn't sexual at all. Is that what appeals to you? That you can kind of
you're going to turn her into a whore.
Exactly. No, that would be my fantasy. But let me ask you guys this, Gary, Robin or Lisa G. If you had to choose one to bang, who would it be?
Probably Lisa G.
And you, Benji?
If you're talking about for the show notoriety wise, Robin, but purely I'm hungry for it, Lisa G.
Jason?
This is an interesting question because I think if I'm with Lisa G, I'm in charge, and if I'm with Robin, she's in charge. And
doesn't have to be that way.
I don't think I'd have a choice with Robin, at least. But I don't know if I'm man enough for Robin, so I'd go. Nah, you know what? Fuck it, I'll go Robin, dude. How about you? You know what? I don't want to have to. I've never been with an older, experienced woman, and not that Robin's older, but I have a feeling she's more experienced than Lisa.
Would you rather take care of Robin's cats or Lisa G?
But how about you,
Robin.
John? How about you?
What?
If you had to bang one, Lisa G or Robin?
Robin.
Really?
No doubt about it.
Wow.
John doesn't like G.
And Teddy?
Both at the same time.
No.
See, for me, the reason why I picked Lisa is, again, Robin's like the sisterly thing, but I knew Lisa back in the day when not only did I want to, I may have even tried to fuck her.
Is there any chance you did?
No, I know I didn't. I remember I used to see her around at a lot of parties. This is like 20 years ago. We would just run into each other a lot, but she always gave up the good girl vibe, and I didn't have that kind of time.
I would love to crisscross her ankles over her neck with her ass propped in the air, so she looks like a turtle bouncing up and down on the mattress.
On Thursday's wrap-up show, we talked about Richard earlier in the day was walking around with diapers, and on the wrap-up show, we found out why he's walking around with diapers and what he's going to do with them at the Coheed and Cambria concert. That's what we're going to find out. Is that what you want?
I can't miss
Has it been brought up
concert.
what Richard was walking around the hall with, and was that serious?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
In preparation for the concert?
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was brought up on the air.
Because I didn't know if it was a joke or serious. Richard was walking around with diapers today.
No, it's serious.
No, it's not.
Can you please?
Well, I mean, you guys
Well,
laugh.
hold on. First, let's set this up right. Benji, what did you see or
I
hear?
saw Richard in the hall with diapers, and I didn't know if he was joking around or he told me it was to get ready for the concert.
Was he wearing them or
no? He had. I guess I don't know. He just had about 3 or 4 diapers.
All right, here's the deal. So, Howard TV has a big thing of diapers. That they have around here. I guess for bits and pranks.
You don't
and
need.
stuff.
You don't need to explain.
Okay, but I asked Joe Jordan if I could have like 3 of the diapers. Because I'm going to 3 more Coheed shows, and they're my favorite albums. The last 3 albums by them are my favorite albums by the band, and I'm gonna wear the diapers to the show because I don't want to miss anything.
And you guys did give him a lot of crap about doing it in his pants last time.
Yeah,
So this way he'll be able to take them
it's
off.
totally not a bit. I literally am going to be drinking beer, and I don't want to leave to go to the bathroom. It's not a bit.
Can I suggest something slightly more hygienic? And I'm not kidding around. They make a thing, you see it advertised in sports magazines all the time. It's for guys who go to football games. It's basically like a condom that goes over your dick with a tube, and it goes into a bag that you tie around the bottom of your leg. And that way you're not soiling yourself.
But the second somebody moshes into my bag and it explodes, I'm in trouble.
Would you shit in a diaper?
I would not shit in a diaper.
Did you wear it?
That would be hard. I mean, I can try it on the air sometime if
Were you
guys
wearing?
want,
Were you wearing a diaper when we went to see Rush?
No, because there's a few Rush songs that I could take or leave, and that gave me a chance to go to the restroom.
You should just wear one like all the time.
Right.
Think about how much more productive you'd be.
That's true. That's true. And, it's funny. Howard said something on the air the other day about sometimes he's so busy that he doesn't have time to go take a piss.
Yet somehow he finds the time.
But I'm the same way. I'll hold a piss until I literally cannot hold it anymore and then have to leave my office.
Do you know what percentage of the concert goers at a Cobra and Cambria concert would probably wear diapers?
I think I'm the only one. 0.0001.
Would you urinate more than once in the same diaper at that concert?
Probably, yeah. I even looked on the thing, and they're extra absorbent. So.
But Gary, you guys had a contest once where you guys peed in diapers. You peed once in it, and
it expands. It gets like a
super
rock.
heavy.
Yeah,
right?
it gets super heavy. Listen, even if anybody who's having kids, you can pick up your kid who's wearing a diaper. If they peed in it, you could just tell it's heavy and gross.
You have like cargo pants or something like to adjust.
And you should get
I got tight diesel jeans on, so I
he
don't
should
know
also
how
get
it's gonna work.
what's that stuff called, John? Bombex. You should get Bombex so you don't get a rash between your
bag
legs.
bomb.
I always wanted to take. We talked about it as a bit. I always want to take you to like a McDonald's and like change you on a changing table.
I would do that.
But now, are you going to do the other thing? Like I don't know which the numbers are. Number 2.
Oh no, they just.
You don't know the
asked
difference.
that, yeah.
You don't know the difference between number 1 and number 2.
I always forget.
One's in the front, and 2's in the back.
You're like that caller. He just asked that before.
Oh really?
But number 1, you can get away with. Without people noticing. I think if I was
a grown man
grunting and had a grimace on my face, people would know I'm shitting in my
But during
pants.
a big part of the concert, you could just when everyone's like, yeah!
Honey, the retarded redhead, it looks even more retarded.
Look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about having Wendy the retard on the show, the game we played with her that day. Some of the callers think we're being cruel to her. Some of the callers think that, we're just treating her like everybody else and giving her a life and having some fun with her. Here's how it went down.
How retarded do you think Wendy is?
Well, fairly.
But I mean, she seems aware of some stuff.
Yeah, like she functions well enough to know like when to eat and what to eat. So why doesn't she know enough to make sure her hands are clean? Like apparently she's even cooking food at times, right?
Absolutely.
So if she's cooking food, how does she not know how to wipe her butt?
What was in that breakfast? Oh my God! And she won that game about blacks and Jews. She answered those questions very accurately.
But I want to go back to something a second. When you said that she said her mother changes her diaper.
Yeah.
Often or always?
That I don't know.
And my question is, does like her mother cut it down the side of the pair of scissors, or does Wendy get it in her back like a baby? That's got to be really weird.
Well, I was saying Wendy did win $500, and as a result, she'll be buying a deep fryer for her mother.
I like when she started giving the list of stuff they're going to deep fry. They're going to deep fry fish, potatoes, and all that stuff. But what was I also enjoyed today that the reason why Wendy's so fat is because she forgot how to grow.
Right, she's not growing up; she's growing wide.
She forgot how to grow taller.
Let's go to the phones. Ray in Jersey City, you're on the wrap-up show.
You know, I got to be honest. I'm disgusted with the two of you. How you laugh at how Howard makes fun of retarded people. Makes me think back to when Gary the Retard came in for his birthday, and you goofed on him for 5 minutes, saying, "Hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing?" What the fuck is funny about goofing on a retarded person? I'll laugh about just about anything, but this is sick and evil.
So you didn't think that Howard was funny with Wendy today?
Listen, he was asking her a bunch of leading questions, making her out to be a racist. The same way you could get her to say that she got raped by Scott Greenstein or something. She'll say anything she's told. So why's he got to make her out to be a racist? I don't think she is.
We know she isn't a racist, and exactly what you said is the joke. And if you don't think that's funny, then you're probably not going to think most of the other stuff we do is funny.
No, that's not true.
You're pointing out the obvious.
Oh, I'm pointing out the obvious. I don't think it's so obvious to you. I think you're giving yourself a pass that, hey, Howard can make anything funny. Hey, how is it funny that you bring in a retarded guy on his birthday and get him to say hello for fucking 5 minutes? You tell me how that's funny, tough guy. Come on, tell me. Explain to me. Give me a course in what's fucking funny, because obviously I'm missing
all right.
out on
you know what?
it.
Your Joe Pesci's boring me.
No, now
you're acting like if you want to have a conversation. You're now reciting from Goodfellas.
This is called deflection, dude, because whenever you're on the ropes, you'll
just
never
talk to me.
concede a point. You'll never concede a point.
Ray, just talk to me.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Okay, Ray, don't do scenes from movies. Just let's have a conversation.
Okay.
You're up, Ray. You're up.
All right, now, you invite Gary the Retard for his birthday. He's excited to come in.
Right.
And you goof on him for 5 minutes, getting him to say hello repeatedly.
Right.
Explain to me how that's funny. How can I join in on the fun and realize that's funny?
I don't know how to explain it to you.
We should get Richard down here. Maybe he can explain it.
But I don't know how to explain it to you. I mean, it's either you see that it's funny or you don't.
All right. I guess. Okay.
By the way, do you not see that we have deep love and affection for these people as well?
No, that's your way of getting out of being despicable.
So you don't think we really like Wendy?
I'm not so sure that you like her that much. No, I've heard her call in. Look, for as much as times that you use her for the benefit of the show, when she calls up asking for some money, I think you cheap out on her. I'm glad you threw her $500 today, but a lot of times you'll just, it's like, God, she's greedy, or she should get a job, or she should figure it out herself. I mean, you recognize she's retarded. Why wouldn't she call you for money?
Don't know, Ray.
Let's go over to Nate in Pennsylvania. Nate, you're on the wrap-up show.
I don't agree with that guy at all, because I think the stuff you guys do with Gary and Wendy and all them guys are friggin' hilarious. But I was wondering, if any of you guys had a child that was in the sort of the same condition as Gary, Wendy, mentally disabled, would you let them participate in the show in the same way that you let the other people do it?
It's hard to say. You know what? I don't know what it's like to be in that situation. I can tell you that when I deal with Wendy's mother, I think that Wendy's mother, understands that we're goofing around with her, no doubt. But I think there's also a feeling that it makes Wendy more part of the group and just makes her happier to be on the show. So I don't know what, I can't answer that question.
Well,
I'd have to be there.
I sort of look at it the way you do, because I think you guys are actually doing something positive for these guys. I mean, if they weren't participating in the Howard Stern show and getting any kind of recognition there, what would they be doing? Wendy would be collecting cans and nobody would care.
I think I told the story once before, and it'll sound like to some people a huge rationalization. But I remember when we were at NBC, we had a 19-year-old kid on who was paraplegic or quadriplegic, and he called the show, and then he said that he was quadriplegic, and Howard said, "You're bumming everybody out. From now on, you have to refer to yourself as the guy who likes to sit a lot, because quadriplegic just bumps people out." So we ended up having him on the show, and Howard just treated him like everybody else. He goofed on him, he goofed with him, and when he was done, his mother came up to me, and she was so happy, and she said, "You know what? Everybody always walks on eggshells around him. Howard treated him like he was one of the gang." And he loves that. So I sort of sometimes take that into account when we're dealing with some of these people. Maybe they just want to be treated like everyone else.
Well, that's exactly my point. I mean, somebody who can't walk, I think they take more offense to somebody, asking them if they need to do something for them all the time, as opposed to just treat them like somebody else. If you treat normal people the same, or if you treat normal people at a sort of a higher than you do somebody who's handicapped in some way, they sort of feel more handicapped, and I think it's great. Like I said, I think it's great what you guys do with these guys, and nobody else would be paying attention to them if they weren't doing what they're doing on the show. And I hope the guy that called in earlier can sort of realize that point.
I agree.
But you guys are doing great. Keep up whatever you guys are doing back in the back area, because all the ideas you come up with that make it on the air are awesome. You guys have a happy holiday, and however you celebrate it. All right. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Nate. Another thing when Wendy was on, I thought a great question Howard posed was, who would you rather be, Wendy's mom or Sour Shoes' dad, or who would you rather have as your kid?
I said I thought it was easy. Sour Shoes is, listen, Sour Shoes has a part-time job. He goes to a part-time job, and if he were ever left alone, he could function on his own. Now, Jim McClure said to me, he goes, "You kidding? We booked the guy to do a show. He shows up on rollerblades with 2 baseball gloves on." I was like, "Yeah, but if he goes home and the door's locked and he can't get in, he takes the blades off, he takes the gloves off, and he figures out how to get a fucking job." I don't know that Wendy has that capacity.
Also, remember the sound that will be coming out of your house every day if Sour Shoes lived there.
Yeah, but I think that maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just something they have sort of learned to live with. But I would, pull the plug on that thing and go, you could play your Casio from 9 to 10 a.m. while I'm at work, and from, and not after 6 p.m. I mean, you've got to make some rules.
Hey everybody, it's Sal, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show we discussed how I found a bottle of cologne while wrapping my children's gifts, and my wife said it was for my child. My child's 7 years old, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Howard thinks it could be for 143. Believe it or not, I tend to believe my wife. Check it out, you be the judge. Merry Christmas.
Let's talk to 8 Ball in Memphis. 8 Ball, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, 8 Ball?
Yo, I wanted to talk about Sal and this whole cologne situation.
Okay.
Now, listen, you don't buy a child that age cologne for Christmas. That's the last thing on their Christmas list. You know what I mean?
I do.
And even
8 Ball, I'm so with you.
What's that?
I'm so with you on that. I don't think that...
Have your sons ever asked for cologne for the holidays?
No, but my sons aren't named Antonio and Rocco either.
And even if you do decide to buy them cologne, you buy maybe one bottle and split that between the both of them. You know what I mean? You don't buy 2.
Right. Well, the whole joke is she didn't buy 2. She didn't buy 2. She bought 1. But she said, "Is that what I'm getting out of this?"
Yeah. Well, that's Sal says he only saw 1 bottle.
And Sal, if you hear this, you should come down and Sal's coming down to explain this. But go ahead, Ben.
Hey, yo, Gary.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, man. I always wanted to ask you. Like, if you at the house just fiddle fucking around, do you ever find yourself singing any of the Baba Booey songs?
Yeah, once in a while I do. I don't find myself in my head, But like that guy called yesterday, talks about how they're playing that song at the
Carmina
at the Jet game. I hear that, and that's when I hear
I would imagine you can't watch Star Wars
the
the
Star
same
Wars
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
The Star Wars thing exactly.
All right, 8-Ball, thank you for your call. Sal Governale now joining us on the wrap-up show. Always a pleasure to have Sal.
Happy holidays, boys. Happy holidays.
So we were confused by the cologne, because you told that cologne story. Did she buy one bottle or two bottles? And she said it was for your oldest son, correct?
Yeah, I was going through the gifts. I pulled out one bottle. And I said, hey, looks like one of my gifts got caught up in this pile.
Well, let me ask you a question. Sal, do you wear cologne?
Yes.
And what do you wear?
I wear Fierce by Abercrombie and Fitch. I can't really say.
Okay, but
right?
I don't know, but is
Fierce.
What was the one that was bought?
It didn't have something on the front. It was a different brand. It was Abercrombie.
But it was Abercrombie and Fitch.
But it wasn't Fierce. I know Fierce.
Right. So there is a small chance that your wife went to Abercrombie and Fitch and bought a cologne for you that you don't usually use, that she may have thought that she wanted you to use, and you accidentally found it while wrapping the gifts, and she said it was for your son.
I hope so, because...
And then a unicorn showed up.
With Bigfoot on the Loch Ness Monster.
No, I'm just saying, that was Robin's theory.
So what do you hope?
Well, first of all, who cares about Robin's theory? She's out of her mind these days. Secondly, what I do hope is that it is for me, because... I don't hope, obviously, I don't think it's for 143, number one. But secondly, I don't want my kids going to school smelling like a bunch of, Tony Montanas. You know what I mean?
Have your kids worn cologne before?
Never.
So she's introducing them to cologne?
I can't even breathe.
Jeez, are you all right?
I can't understand the concept of my wife introducing a 7-year-old and 9-year-old child to cologne. I mean, what are they doing? Getting fucking lap dances on the playground?
The best was I said to Sal, what age is it appropriate to start wearing cologne? He goes, 15, 16.
Do they even wear deodorant yet?
Yeah, they're very clean. I mean, they shower every day,
but they don't use deodorant.
Not deodorant, no. They brush their teeth in the morning and at night. But cologne was such an odd thing,
But Sal, when your wife said she bought it for both kids, but there was only one bottle, did you ask where the other bottle?
No, it didn't occur to me until today. But the thing that really pissed me off is that I go, you bought this for Antonio? And I flip it over immediately to look for the price. And it's just $30. But now I'm thinking, she's shelling out $60. I'm eating waffles sometimes for dinner. She's shelling out $60 for cologne for kids. I mean, what's the point of that?
Well, one of our callers, 8-Ball, just made the point too. Like, why does each kid need their own bottle? Those things will go a long way. Maybe they could have shared a bottle.
Yeah, they could share one.
I don't know, but I do believe that. Look, in my opinion, the whole emotional friend thing is over, in my opinion, but I don't get this whole cologne thing. I'm hoping it's for me. I don't know.
All right, so Christmas Day under the tree, you're going to see a box of cologne.
Do the kids wear gold chains? Do they comb their chest hair?
Yeah, they do, actually, and they wear those shiny white Keds, and we're buying them some white sweat jackets,
Adidas jackets, Adidas pants.
Absolutely, the Snow White ones with the black stripes.
What was Christine's explanation?
Without missing a beat, I bought it for Antonio, and I go, I just didn't get. It just doesn't make sense. I go, you're buying cologne for Antonio, and then when she said and Aiden, I go, there's 7 and 9. I go, I could have taken $60, bought 2 fucking games for the Nintendo Wii. They would have loved it. I would have loved it. I mean, that's what makes a happy family. You're giving these kids cologne, and then it brought me back to my dad was a player, so every time there's something weird like this, and like you bring up 143, like immediately goes to my father, and I can make an association to my dad. My dad did just the opposite. When we were children, my dad would have in his Cadillac, he had the Cadillac Eldorados, he would have 2 or 3 bottles of Charlie perfume. Mm-hmm. Now, Charlie it's woman's perfume, but I didn't know that as a kid. My dad would constantly, he would go into the stationery store, going to buy some paper towels, spray himself up with Charlie and leave, and come home with 2 or 3 in the morning. And he loved Charlie. And I don't know, I guess my mom's off the boat. She didn't put 2 and 2 together either, but he said that was his favorite thing, Charlie, woman's perfume. But we've later found out that the woman he was shagging would wear Charlie, so he would never get busted.
His point being that he smelled like a girl to his mother, so when he came home smelling of a woman, it didn't seem odd.
Right, exactly.
That was actually Fred's sort of joke theory today, that maybe she is getting it for you and for him, So when she comes home,
right? Yeah, but she never smells like me. She's like 6 feet away from me in the bed. So I don't know if that's gonna, more or less. But it was weird that my dad actually went to the extent of smelling like a homo to get pussy.
on Wednesday's wrap-up show, we discussed how I overslept and was late to the show, and a lot of people thought it was because of my water fast for Bubba, which made me oversleep, but I don't think that's what happened. I think I just overslept.
How difficult is it to track down Benji once you realize he's missing?
Okay, for starters, I know he's got a phone number, but I know Benji never answered. Like, I've never called Benji and it rings and it goes, "Oh, hello, this is Benji." It always goes to voicemail. I don't think he answers his phone. He claims he turns off the ringer, but I think he's got phones that go. I think he's one of those guys that goes directly to voicemail and then listens to it and decides whether he's going to call you back or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first issue. Second issue is in our computer, we don't have Benji's address because Benji doesn't like to give people's address. So finally, Tracy had it in an email because we had to send something to his apartment. We have a post office box for him. So I got slowed down an extra 10 minutes to send news over there because I didn't know where Benji lived.
And so the news, by the time news got to his place,
they missed him by a minute. Had I actually had Benji's address in my database, they'd have been over there and caught him coming out the door.
Why is Benji's address such a secret?
Why is Benji's age a secret? Has Benji ever answered a question yes or no?
No.
That's what that's just the way he is.
Fair point. Now, he broke his fast in support of Bubba, and apparently he's eating seaweed.
I thought yesterday was tomatoes.
Well, yeah, that was yesterday, but last night it was seaweed, and some people think Benji does this stuff for attention, but he's become sort of the boy who cries wolf. How do you know when it's a bit versus him just being himself?
He's doing this for attention under the guise of a comedic bit with the hopeful end game of maybe losing a couple of pounds. That's what this is all about.
And how do you think it will end up?
It's not that funny, and he's getting bigger.
Now, he claims he smells fresh because he showers and changes, but that Penn State shirt, that inside-out Penn State shirt, has been a staple for many months.
Yeah, I gave that to him for Christmas 2 years ago. It hasn't come off yet. I gave him also a pair of Penn State sweats to go with it. But, yeah, I mean, the whole notion of I wear the same shirt every day, but I put a different shirt on underneath is ridiculous. And you know he doesn't wash it.
And how?
In fact, I'd like to hear about Benji's laundry. Like, I wonder what goes on with his laundry. I'm assuming if he does laundry in any way at all, it must only be underwear and socks.
Well, we'll ask him when he gets down here. But, Teddy, hit clip number 1. This is Howard explaining to Benji how he needs to sort of get things together, and then Artie gets a little bit of shrapnel as well.
Stop with the fast. It's silly and it's immature, and you're doing the wrong thing with your body and with your life.
You're very funny, Howard, because that's like telling Artie to take just a responsible amount of heroin.
Well, you want to know something?
How did I get on this?
I mean, here's the thing.
Just, make it so you can go to work
I could
every
tell
day.
Artie how to live his life, and you know what? Benji would listen and say, that sounds very reasonable. That's good advice. But then when I tell Benji how to live his life, he looks at me like I'm insane.
No, listen. I respect you. You've struggled with weight at times, and and you've conquered it.
Of course, I conquered it because first of all, I'm the master of me. Of course, I conquer it because I don't fail.
See, but we fail, though.
Yes, you guys are thinking like losers.
Well,
don't you want to be winners?
Now, do you think Benji and Artie think like losers?
Well, I don't think anybody could think the winning way Howard does.
What do you mean?
He just has. There's no room for error the way when Howard talks that way. There's his way or no other way. And anybody who doesn't think the way he thinks is a loser.
So Howard just applied himself to getting in shape and losing weight, and bang, he did it.
And for him, it works. Now, having said that, it's hard to look at Benji and Artie and say that they're winners in any sort of weight loss thing.
That's true.
But Howard, I understand where Benji's coming from. Howard has no sympathy and doesn't understand. But Howard will say like, autism. Just fucking thinks. Cut it out. Like he thinks everything can be fixed by just doing it correctly.
How you doing this morning, Benj?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing okay.
Yeah, I do respect people that have maintained a great weight for all their lives, or for most of their lives. Howard has, my father has. I know a lot of people that have, and they're the real diet experts, I think.
Because they've kept it off?
They're the diet experts on what works for them.
That's right. But if I did eat exactly what Howard ate, I probably would be in great shape.
Well, were you honored when Howard said that you're savable but Artie isn't?
No. I mean, that's nice. I mean, I'm sure it could be reversed, in a moment.
Now, what was going on with you this morning? You said you overslept, right?
I woke up and I did one of those. I always start every morning. This is gonna sound silly, but I start with those. I say either 5 things I feel grateful for, or 5 things I'm looking forward to for the day. That's how I start my every morning.
What time? You really do that?
Yeah, I really do.
What time do you wake up?
I think I had the alarm went off around 5:25 this morning.
And what were if I can ask, what were the 5 things for today?
I think what happened was I got to number 3 and I just fell asleep because I did one of those. I'll just sleep for another minute and then.
But on a general day, what would have been the 5 for today?
I always feel real grateful that I have both my parents around. There's usually something about Sheila, that I have an apartment. I felt something about the job sometimes.
Did you used to wake up at midnight so you felt sort of refreshed when you came in?
I used to. Oh God, yeah. My schedule's all effed up now.
Okay, so you fell back asleep after the 3rd thing.
Yeah,
and when you pop up
I popped up and it sucked. It's just it's just a horrible, scary feeling.
What did you expect when you came?
It just pretty much something like what happened.
I actually thought it was better. If I were you, what happened today would have been better than what I would have expected. You really didn't get a shit on that bad,
right? Because I don't think this is the kind of thing that Howard. If it happened all the time, he'd get mad. This is not. This is a lot different than being late.
I think being a minute late irritates the shit out of Howard. I think this doesn't happen often to Benji, and oversleeping. Everyone gets a free pass, 1 per 3 years or something. It just happens.
Well, Benji also immediately said, I overslept. There was no story or anything else. Right. He just kind of came clean right up front. And then he talked about eating seaweed?
Yeah. I'm still on the hunger water fast for Bubba, so I want to make that clear. I don't want to... If anyone's with me, we're still doing it.
But you've had a couple of missteps.
No, not missteps. This is... I've said this on the thing. I'm following instructions from Bubba 100%. If he tells me to eat something, I'm going to eat something.
Have you been in touch with Bubba?
I through visions, which you get when you fast. Right. He's instructing me.
Here we go.
Can I ask Benji a different question?
The laundry one, sure.
No, this isn't even. Well, the laundry one too.
Laundry.
Well, I do have 2 questions for you then. So, when you do your laundry, how often do you do your laundry?
Once. Well, actually, I have about 50 boxers and 50 T-shirts, all the same. All this exact, same color, same everything. So
he's like Run DMC. He's got a T-shirt and a hat.
It's about every 2 weeks I have to do it.
And what would you say is the bulk of what's in your laundry? Is it almost all underwear and socks and little else?
Yeah, all black T-shirts, all black or blue boxers, and all socks.
How many?
And then occasionally a sheets, that kind of thing.
How often would you say you wash the jersey you're wearing?
Yeah.
I just did it the last time I washed it. Last time I did my wash.
Right. So how long had it been before that?
I don't know.
3 months, 4 months?
I may have never washed it before. But
and why do you wear it inside out?
It's just because I used to love it. I love Penn State, and it was fun, but it's just too. I get sick of labels, and it's just too busy, with all the labels and stuff.
It's a label. It's just one you can barely read now. You know what I mean? And the stitching inside out. It's just so. It's like a neon sign that says, "Notice me. I'm wearing my shirt inside out."
Crisscross.
So the rest of your morning went okay? No ramifications? Nobody gave you any shit?
Well, no. I mean, no. It wasn't that big of a thing.
Now, I got another question for you. I know that when you're in there, it's hard to answer honestly because you don't want to say the wrong thing and get yelled at. But how do you feel about the allegation that Howard made that you've carved out a place for yourself here for a guy who could sort of come and go as he pleases, more or less, and can dress any way that he wants, and that once this ends and you go to look for a job, your dress and your attitude is going to have to change if you want to work?
Well, I think that's true for anyone. I mean, and I wouldn't work at a job that I didn't want to conform to. I think if I wanted to conform to a certain thing, I easily could, but it's not my style. I don't want to. I don't want to be in. I think insurance salesmen probably do a great job. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, but even within the entertainment industry, how we're saying, even if you want to be a writer at SNL, there's probably more of a schedule you need to be on, and probably would you show up to an interview with Lorne Michaels in that outfit?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't show up to an interview with anyone in this outfit.
Are you trying to be like Artie in a way?
What do you mean? Like,
no, because I mean they were making comparisons before you were here today. You know, you're a little overweight. You sort of don't care about your appearance, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's been a plan for like 30 years now.
In all fairness, Benji was doing Artie before Artie worked here.
Yeah, that's true.
On Thursday's wrap-up show, it was all about the tombstone. Ted from Howard TV got Howard as Secret Santa, and he thought getting him a granite tombstone was a good idea, and found out, well, I guess his name's Tombstone Ted now, so that tells you how well that went.
We should lead off with Secret Santa, which is always a crazy day here on the show. And I guess we all learned what not to get Howard for the holidays.
It only takes one gift for this bit to work, right? It only takes one.
And
it was
Ted, what's his name?
Ted.
Hit a home run.
And you know, it's funny because Artie grabbed me during a break, and Artie goes, we were talking about what a weird gift it was, and Artie goes, I don't think the guy did it in any malicious way. And I said, that's why it's such a great bit.
Yeah, but you know why I said that was I was trying to defend them because people were starting to sound like they really hated him personally. Like, that's when the gift is bad. People go, no, I wanted to throw him out of here. And I was like, well, it doesn't mean he's a shithead, but it is an extraordinarily ridiculous thing to do.
And I mean, at least somewhere somebody can use wind chimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the other thing is
Howard could use this. I just don't think he wants to use it anytime soon.
Yeah, and the other thing that's just so fucked up is that, everybody really did do their part. And I felt so bad of making him think that it was a great gift. Like, nobody blew the whistle on, are you out of your fucking mind?
How could you?
You couldn't.
I mean, just the idea itself. And you could tell, Teddy, hit clip number 1. You could tell Howard was definitely creeped out by this.
Okay, you going to unveil it? Go ahead.
My God.
What is that?
Oh, my God.
It's a gravestone?
It's a gravestone.
It's a 350-pound black marble, hand-engraved tombstone.
Well, you don't have one of those.
I do not have that. And it says 1954, of course, we don't know when I'm going to die.
Yeah,
Why would you get me that? I mean, I'm not
I know you don't have
it. Is that freaking you out?
You're into the kind of like gothic themed stuff.
Right.
It also kind of, after coming up with a bunch of ideas, this is the one that stuck out the most.
Right.
And worked.
And worked.
And I worked out a deal with a guy that, when the time comes, he'll finish it off. I have his card. I'll give you that.
Please give that to me. Wow. Well, isn't that nice?
He was shaking, Garrett.
Yeah, no, I know. Who?
Howard.
Oh.
I'm not talking about Ted. I'm talking about Howard. He definitely was creeped out by it, as he said so. And that was after proclaiming that he wasn't going to say a bad word about whatever he gets for the remainder of the show.
Well, it's so great because Howard said, we have our own show going in the back office. So Howard says, I am not going to disparage this guy's gift. And I said, for how long? And he said, the whole show. And John Hine just wheels back in his chair and he goes, I give him 30 seconds. And I said, we're staying in the office 30 seconds. And I think it was about that amount of time. But the other thing Artie pointed out on the show today, which is right, like, of all the words I would use to describe Howard, I don't know that gothic is in the top 100 of them.
Ralph made a good point when trying to describe this too. Somebody misread Howard again, who was a fan, and he hated it. And Ralph used an example. It's like the fan who gets Howard a cake shaped like a penis,
right,
and thinks he's going to love it. I thought that was a great example Ralph made because getting to know Howard. I mean, look, as a fan, I think I was bright enough to know that's not the guy, and people, I think, put him in the same category sometimes as Marilyn Manson, dark, and gothic, and no, that's not. He's not.
If you listen to for any period of time, you know that gothic is not, what he is,
right? And that was a bad call, the gothic.
But I thought that Howard was being sort of not honest today when he said, why does everybody buy me hardcover comic book books? Well, people think I read comic books, but he talks about that he reads comics a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
But in Howard's defense, he said for the past couple of years, I have so much comic book shit, I don't need it. Get me a nice. He said every year he says, get me a nice pen. Like that's what I want, a nice pen.
I know, but he wasn't saying I have so many of these I don't need them. He says, I think he's trying to act like he doesn't read comic books anymore. But he did do a whole bit on the air where he talked about when he goes on vacation, he puts the comic book inside a smart book.
Yeah, that's misleading somebody, absolutely. But the gothic stuff, you got to listen just a little bit to know he's not a gothic guy.
Well, Ted from Howard TV just stopped by, and Ted, you've caught a lot of crap for the gift you gave, but you weren't trying to make a joke or anything. Like, that was a sincere gift from you, right?
Very sincere. So I was mainly thinking of something that he didn't have.
Clearly, he didn't have that.
But didn't you think that for that particular thing, that certainly at some point someone was going to buy it for him? Like after he's dead?
I mean, eventually, but I mean, I beat him to it.
Let me ask you a question. Did anybody give you any indication along the way, the people that you consider your friends, that this might not go over so big?
It was mainly, most people I talked to were like, you know what, that's awesome, do it. No one would ever expect that. A few people did, but not really. I had other ideas that I really wanted to do.
What were your other ideas?
I tried to book Kathy Lee Gifford. I emailed her.
So have I, by the way.
Then she was too busy this holiday season.
How'd you do that?
I looked up her publicist, did a little research, wrote a really long email.
Yeah, you know what? In all fair, I love you, but how funny would it have been if you booked Kathy Lee Gifford?
What else, Ted?
I tried. I know he likes the restaurant Pump.
Right.
I was going to call them and try. I know he gets like a specific sandwich. Try and get that named like the Howard Stern. You know, that wasn't that good when I.
Yeah,
did.
he wouldn't like that
Yeah.
either. He would like that if you did that at a restaurant he doesn't go to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, and Artie has found out repeatedly with his Neil Young gift, Howard is not the easiest guy to get a gift for.
Well, by the way, that was a huge insult to Artie today. That was completely unnecessary.
That he took the picture off the wall?
The interior designer put up, like, so after all this disrespect the picture gets, Howard's interior designer takes it out of a pile of whatever's in Howard's, warehouse, and he goes, "This is where this picture should be." And Howard said, "No, it's not."
Yeah, but it validates Artie in a way.
How? Well, it does, but it doesn't.
Well,
it validates
why?
Artie
Because the interior designer thinks it looks good, and
Yeah,
Howard
now
doesn't take it down.
Artie
It validates it that the interior designer likes it, but it makes me realize that how much Howard really hates it.
Right.
Like a decorator who Howard put his trust into couldn't even talk him into it.
So, Ted, how heavy was that thing?
Weighs 350 pounds.
So how'd you get it up here?
I get up here every day. What the fuck?
I rented a panel van, picked it up in Jersey City. 2 big guys helped me lift it into the back of the panel van. I had a hand truck. I drove it down to the basement of Sirius. And I had a couple guys from Howard TV, like Joe, Brian Fallon, Chris Costa. They all helped me. We team lifted it and brought it in.
You didn't put it on a hand truck? Or
well, no,
anything?
yeah. We did that, but to get it off the hand truck is the hard part.
Right.
Because it's so low.
So now, after the day is done, you've had time to reflect, you got your emails, you got your phone calls. How are you feeling right now?
I think it was a great, smart move. Wouldn't take it back.
I think what you should do is you should have just left the hand truck and taken the gravestone away.
So you're glad? I mean, Howard first gave you the thanks, and then it didn't take long before he was laying into you.
Once he said, I'm not going to be negative this year, but in my head I was like, what is he going to say? And then he eventually got negative. But
see, here's the greatest part of this whole thing. So I said to Howard, Howard's like, he doesn't know what to do with it. Obviously, he's not taking it home. And then we talked about maybe donate. Somebody said you should donate it to charity. So I went to Howard during a break. I said, should you decide to do that, if you could donate it to Lifebeat, I'll get it up on eBay and sell it or whatever. And he just sort of brushed it off. And so Howard left, and that thing's in the studio where it will sit for the next 2 weeks. And Howard's going to come back on January 5th, and it'll still be there.
No, it's gone. It's already gone.
No, it's not.
I put it on a hand truck.
Did you?
Yeah.
And where is it?
It's sitting there now.
Can you re-gift that?
Well, it's funny.
You know what? You should give that to Imus.
Lifebeat's a good suggestion, Gab, because there's nothing age people like seeing more than a gravestone from that generation. I'm sure these people have lost relatives who've seen 1954 to 1983, 1980. How much money could you get?
Well, my idea was to auction it off to a fan who would then give the money to Lifebeat.
Oh, okay.
It's not like we're going to put it in the office.
That's so funny. I know this is the exact time in history that people started dying from this, but maybe we could do something with it, put it in the coffee room. How much do you think you could get? See, I think it's kind of a cool, weird thing, like the Beetlejuice bust to leave in the studio.
Okay,
but
here's
if it's going to bum him out, then forget it.
Here's the deal. It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
It's been documented on the air that it was in Howard's possession.
Right.
So that makes it valuable. Howard did a whole bit about it on the radio, which will turn into a TV show about it. So somebody who's
the stone itself is worth like what, $5,000?
He never told me the true value, but
I mean, really, when
it's
you
worth
say
more,
when you say it's worth that, once it's been written on, is it really worth anything?
Yeah,
it's probably worth more.
No,
it's
but
worth more.
I'm saying it's one of a kind. So I see a fan of the show being totally interested in owning
What do we have to compare it to? Do we know anything like that's been on the show that's sold?
What about the painting he tore up?
Did that sell?
No, because we never sold that, but we don't know what that was worth.
No, but
that was a Christmas gift from one of our interns who ended up working for Howard.
Mike Coppola.
It was so embarrassing. I mean, when Howard ran the knife through that might have been the cruelest thing ever in the history of the show.
You know, I think he sold that. I think he actually put it on eBay. Didn't
Howard?
He? No, Coppola. I think he sold that and got like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for it.
I thought it would have been funny to leave it in the studio, but honestly, Ted, you don't want that because on a slow day, he'll glance over there and you'll have 30 minutes of hell every once in a while, every couple of months.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I feel good.
So what brings you down to the show today? You got a new album coming out?
Yeah, I got a new album coming out, and mostly I just want to hang out, man. I'm a huge fan of this show.
Yeah, you excited?
Unbelievable. I'm a really big fan of this show. I know everything about it. And for the last 4 years, I got diagnosed with leukemia in 2005. So all I've done, besides like trying to live, is stay home and watch Howard TV.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't watch anything else. Cool. So I know everything, man. I'm down with like the whole Artie and the heroin thing, and I just know everything.
Awesome. This must be real exciting for you then.
It's amazing. I mean, I can't believe I'm here. I see this on TV all the time, and I just can't believe it. I mean, I'm here to promote an album in my foundation for leukemia, but mostly I just want to hang out.
Cool, man.
I didn't even sleep last night.
All right, man. Well, have fun in there. Have fun in there today.
I will. Thank you.
All right, anyway, this guy's name is Rich Cronin. You might remember his hit song with LFO. He had a huge hit. I remember this song, Summer Girl.
All right, you remember this?
Sure, you do too. How old were you when you were in a boy? How you doing, man?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, good to meet you.
I'm, when I was in the boy band?
Yeah. How do you get in a boy band?
Well, first of all, when that song blew up, I was 24 years old.
Right.
So you were pretty old
yeah,
in the boy band.
Yeah, I was pretty old.
You were no boy.
No, I wasn't.
That old boy over there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's snotting all over the place.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
when that came out, I was 24 years old.
24? And how old were you when you got discovered for the boy band?
20.
Yeah. And what do you have to do? You have to audition and stuff? You have to, like...
No. Actually, I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
And
I know, we could tell.
Sorry.
That's good.
No, I think the accent.
One of my friends and I, he for some reason he went on tour with the Backstreet Boys,
right?
Who were nothing,
right.
And he was always talking about, you know, we got to get with this guy Lou Pearlman.
Right. Lou was this guy. There was this guy Lou Pearlman who was this like incredible producer, if you will.
Well, what happened with Lou? Because I knew Lou. Lou used to own Blimps or something. I don't know how he knew about the music business, but after New Kids on the Block, he just got this idea to put together a boy band.
I mean, he had a lot of bands. He had, what was Justin Timberlake's band?
Yeah.
He had NSYNC, he had Backstreet Boys.
He had, well, my group, we sold 4 or 5 million records.
And E-Town.
O-Town.
O-Town, whatever it was called.
He never thought it was going to blow up. And then when the Backstreet Boys blew up and NSYNC blew up, and then, you know, we started to blow up. Not as big as them, but we blew up. He bought a fucking house that was incredible. It wasn't even a house, it was a hotel.
Right.
On this incredible lake. He started buying Bentleys. He had a $250,000 Rolex with diamonds all over it. Meanwhile, he's stealing all my money, everyone's money.
Yeah, so
we all knew it.
You never got paid?
I didn't get paid anywhere near what I should have.
Really?
Nothing.
Well, and like, didn't your parents or somebody step in, or your accountant go, hey, wait a second, we're not getting paid?
You know, we were always on TRL.
Right.
We were always, you know, starting to sell a lot of records.
Yeah.
And I started to say, well, where's the money?
Right.
And it was like, It was just nuts, man. The guy was such a creep. And
Did you make
I know
enough
the
money?
Backstreet Boys had to sort of legally get away from him because he was,
Yeah,
you know,
so did
the
NSYNC.
contracts were so ridiculous.
And Sync had to leave. Everyone left him.
Did you end up making any money?
Yeah.
Did you become a millionaire?
No.
Not a millionaire.
And I should have made like at least $2 million, $3 million.
Wow. Right.
Easy. But
Yeah.
see, here's what it was. I wrote all those songs for LFO.
Right.
I wrote like Summer Girls and all of them.
Right, so that's your publishing and all that.
Yeah. So when that song blew up, I thought, well, wow, I'm gonna get a publishing deal now.
Right.
He offered me $20,000 for my publishing.
Oh my God! Did you take it?
Well, I was thinking about taking it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy, I never had $20,000. You know, I
Right.
never had any money.
In one lump sum, yeah.
No, never. I was excited.
Oh, he's a real Colonel Tom type. Yeah.
And now so one of my friends said, "Are you going to take $20,000?" I said, "Yeah, it's a great deal." He goes, "You could make a deal for $500,000 tomorrow."
Right, just on that song.
So he schooled me to this publishing thing. So I was like, I got to do this.
Thank God
And,
you didn't sign away your publishing.
No. So I started saying, hey, let's get some publishing deals. So I put a lawyer out there.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, the lawyer's like, oh, I can get you a publishing deal. I can get you $750,000.
Right.
Next thing you know, another song came out called Girl on TV. Went top 5. And now I can get like close to $1 million.
Right.
Next thing I know, he comes back to me and goes, Rich, your publishing has been sold.
Oh,
so what do you
wow.
mean?
What do
He
you
says,
mean?
yeah, Lou sold your publishing for $1.2 million to Jive Zomba.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So
he could do that without your signature or anything?
When I first signed the contract with him,
yeah.
I signed it away.
That's
Wow.
what that's what I'm saying about those contracts. He had people signing. They were crazy.
Yeah.
He owned everything.
You must have nightmares about this.
I had to go through lots of therapy.
Right.
I went crazy. I mean, I wrote some big songs, and
You must have some good therapy because
No, I don't.
You're still here.
Yeah.
I know. I went crazy.
Wow.
I mean, the guy was awful. But
Oh, that's awful.
besides all this money stuff, the guy was he was really a creepy guy, man. Like, you know,
I met him once. I had him on the show once with some band.
You did?
Yeah.
That was O-Town when they were
O-Town,
being
yeah.
put
Oh, yeah.
on MTV. He came in here with the band.
when I got a hit song, the song went #1.
Right.
He bought me a Navigator in 5 minutes. He's like, walked in. He goes, yeah, you got a Navigator now.
Yeah, of course, because he was busy stealing your publishing.
He stole my publishing. He charged me for the Navigator. The guy's a fucking asshole.
I got your Navigator, but you're gonna pay for it.
That's right. I just
Oh, he
bought
didn't
your
tell me that,
car
though.
Yeah, right.
that
Oh,
you
no.
have to pay for.
You thought it was a gift.
Yeah, about 6-7 months later, I found out he's fucking charging me for this
Oh
thing.
my God.
The guy's awful.
Yeah, you know
but-
what, dude? I'd rather have my money and I'll go buy my own Navigator.
I'll just decide what kind of car I want.
Yeah.
Well, I said, I want to get a Navigator. He said, well, let's go get it. And
It wasn't all bad though. You got to date Jennifer Love Hewitt. You went out with her for a long time, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
You banged her for 2 years.
Yeah.
And
She's
you
hot.
had some hit records.
Yeah.
Who took the hit?
She's hot.
She is hot.
How'd you get her?
I met her at the Blockbuster Awards.
Oh, no kidding.
And I wasn't, we weren't really mega successful, but we
Right.
still had 3 big hits.
Right.
And at this point, we had no hits.
Right.
I was just there.
And she wants to be a rock star too, doesn't she?
She wants to be a singer.
Right.
Right.
So she
I
probably
think she
figured-
put out an album.
Probably figures she'll fuck you a little bit. Maybe you'll write her a song.
I don't even think so. I think she just saw me then. And this is going back 8 years now
Right.
or more. And, we had the same publicist.
Right.
So I started to talk to her. And I couldn't believe it. She kept talking to me. She was actually interested.
Right.
And she later on that night, after the Blockbuster Awards, she gave me her number.
Wow.
I was floored. I was
Right.
like, well, because
she's rich and she's hot.
But besides that, I actually was a big fan of hers.
Right.
I worked at Blockbuster 2 years before.
I have two things I like about her.
Yeah, I mean, I worked at Blockbuster 2 years before that, like putting the movies on the shelf.
Right.
And every time I saw a picture, I say, oh, she's
Super
really hot.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the Blockbuster Awards.
And she's putting the moves on you.
The girl on the video cover just gave you her number.
So did you call her right away, or did you play the game and wait a while?
No, I mean, I was so anxious about calling her. I couldn't. And then I actually got a notebook and I wrote down all these subjects. Like,
so you
okay,
needed crib notes.
Oh no, I had the paper was there. I
Shit
was like,
to talk about with Jennifer Love
so
Hewitt.
when there's a quiet point, I'll talk about this.
Right.
And this, like, I couldn't imagine there being any quiet points in the conversation.
Right.
I would be awkward silence. So I actually called her up, and
Right.
she answered the phone.
Wow.
And we talked for like 2 hours.
Did you use your notes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was no way.
You went through all 2 pages.